And we're rolling.
Hey,
what's up, Sean?
Hey, hi. How's it going?
Good, brother. It's good to see you. Good to catch up.
It's the gorilla voice.
Yeah, man. I figured we'd try some of this bamboo. My friend turned me onto this, Brent.
Oh yeah.
And it's really good. And I was like, man, Sean might seem like he can get down with some rum. Plus, if I have any leftovers, Amy likes rum. It's the only thing she'll drink, really.
It's like it's not Malibu, but
I think I'm gonna just try it just the way that it is. But
cheers.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little Coke in there.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the first time I ever did music in a studio.
It's so smooth.
It is very smooth. Like I was just like waiting for the fucking battery acid to hit me.
Try a little bit of it without the Coke.
Sorry.
Just to get your palate going there.
Oh no, that's not bad at all.
I mean, like for straight rum and damn, it's fucking good.
Yeah, no. Back in high school, I went into a studio with this dude. I forget his fucking rap name. Oh, it was like Unorthodox or something. And we went there. And this motherfucker had a fucking just the whole time just drinking Malibu and Coke the whole time. And I'm just like 16 years old, high schooler, just trying to like do my music shit. And just halfway through the session, he's like, Malibu, we got to go to the store. So he takes me to him with the store to him just to go buy some more fucking alcohol. And I'm just like, I was like, this dude's probably drunk right now. That's shit, dude.
It's a trip, huh? When you're like young and impressionable and like seeing like the older cats just like do it how they do. And you're like, damn.
Yeah, like he went to school with my sister. My sister's like 8 years older than my ass. And I'm just like, he's like, you want something, man? I'm like, no, I'm good right now.
Yeah. You know, I think rum was the first thing I drank. Like, it's the first thing I got buzzed off of. It wasn't this good shit. It was just Captain Morgan spiced rum.
Yeah, man.
Which is all right, but it's not near as good as this.
I was like Malibu then. I think the first thing I really got like drunk off of was brandy, and I haven't drank brandy since. Yeah, I woke up in the bathroom, man.
Oh, yeah, those are never fun.
No, man. You just wake up, like, you just shut your eyes, and next thing you know, you're like taking a nap, your head on the fucking toilet seat.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst. That's the last place you want your face. It's like the toilet seat, bro.
You're like, how many cheeks have touched this?
Ugh, and just like, no matter how clean you get that motherfucker, it's still, you're like, ah.
Oh, just booty residue everywhere, man. Like, no.
Oh, fuck.
No, I remember that because I was at my friend's house and she was having like a little get together thing. Then she comes knocking on the door, and I'm just like I'm so fucking slizzard at that point. I don't even stand up to open the door. I just.
Oh yeah, that's the funniest shit. I remember partying at JoJo's house like one time a long time ago back in like high school, and like we all partied all night, whatever, and then like I had to use the bathroom in the morning. So I'm like sitting on the toilet, and then like halfway through, like just doing my thing.
You doing one of these?
I look over and I see a pair of shoes sticking out of the tub, like from behind the shower curtain.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize, but my homie Dustin was passed out inside the bathtub, but his shoes were hanging out, and I didn't realize it till I was like halfway through taking a dump. I was like, God damn, homie's in here the whole time, just breathing that in, like totally drunk, passed out.
Jesus, you just don't feel the presence there until like halfway through it. You're just like, I don't know, man, but I'm taking a shit today. And for some reason, it feels like a group activity.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I mean, I was pretty, not necessarily hungover, but I was feeling the after effects from the night before too.
Dude,
so I wasn't fully there.
When I drank brandy, I drank half that bottle because I was trying to. I was like, man, I'm gonna spit game to this girl. I'm super shy, especially back in high school. Drank half that bottle. Next thing I know, everyone's smoking. They're giving me beer, and they're just like, here. And they're like, you haven't drank shit because no one's looked at the bottle since like 6 p.m. And I'm just sitting there, just like, you know how you lean back in the chair and just like, you just feel like fucking.
Everything starts spinning.
I feel like it's when you put a battery in the back of something where like it doesn't move, but it's just like just snugly fit in there, and that's how it works now. It's like this is where I belong. This is the energy
I just found my spot.
Yeah, and everyone's just like looking at you, and like I don't know. It's like you're looking through a camera lens the whole time. It's like watching one of those party movies.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. You feel like the shit though, because you just sitting there just looking at people, watching everything go around, and you're just like, I'm just watching life happen right now.
It's a trip when you like you have that like outside the body experience.
Oh, dude. And it was like the first time I ever did like any of that stuff, man. And it was all just to impress a girl. And I'm just like, I'm just so slizzing. Just. Little did I know, 2 hours later, I'd be passed out, face on the fucking toilet seat. I was just throwing up earlier. And the thing that made me throw up, I don't think it was the alcohol. It was because they gave me the Boston baked bean things with the alcohol.
Oh, yeah. Some fuck your stomach up.
Yeah, I woke up the next morning and she was like, yo, you got to help me finish this bottle. I was like, I'm never drinking again. I'm good. Yeah.
You know what's funny too is like I don't really drink like lately. I haven't like last time I drank was last weekend after the show that we played.
Yeah,
but I don't even like drink. It's just like a couple of beers throughout the night, you know.
Oh yeah.
But I think the last time I was shitty drunk was after I graduated college in like 2017.
Oh shoot.
So it's been like 5 years or something since I was fucking like puking drunk.
Yeah, that's probably.
So that's pretty good. I don't like getting there.
Yeah,
I can avoid it.
I think after the whole Brandon thing, I was like, nah, I'm good, man. But there's some times where I've gotten pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was countless times before that. Don't get me wrong.
Like I'm just proud to say that I'm a social drinker. That's it.
But lately, keep it mellow, you know.
Oh yeah. Sometimes you're just like, I'm just going to chill, you know. Just.
It's funny because you click on the thumbnail to the video and it's all this fucking booze and beers and shit. But it looks like when me and Dano did our episode.
Yeah.
He had all them whiskeys, but we weren't drinking much. We were just tasting little sips, you know, to sample different ones. Because it's like if you were having a full serving of all that shit, we'd be a little too much, a little too wasted.
That was one of my favorite things about like when we did the go home show was I would just like bring your own drinks, like just whatever. So it'd be like all these random ass drinks, and we just sitting there like, yo, turn the label, man, fucking. And I'm just like, no one fucking cares.
Oh, like product placement, like
yeah, I was like,
getting sued or something.
I was like, no one cares. We're not getting paid for this. We're good.
I know. I'm not monetized. Even if I was, it's not like. I mean, if anything, you're promoting their product.
Yeah.
It's not like we're sitting here bashing on Bumbu. I'm like, if anything, I'm like, you guys should try it.
Well, I don't think that's the issue with it. I don't think it's like you're like they're bashing our product while they drink it. Like, no, I think the issue is they're just like, oh man,
you're just using their stuff without.
They talking about hitting babies, like punching babies in the face.
The associated topics.
Yeah, I don't want to be associated with kicking scooter kids in the face and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's about as extreme it gets with us. Is the fucking you're like, man, fuck them kids, man.
Most of our shit's sarcasm anyway, you know.
Oh yeah,
just dark humor.
Yeah, no one takes it serious. It's cool.
I'm hoping people can see the sign. I was like moving these booze bottles. So I got my official little letterbox, man. Shout out to Eric next door.
Hell yeah.
He told me about those. I was like, hell yeah, it looks cool. I'll run with it. Like you can put different colors on there, but I like to scroll through the different colors.
Oh yeah, man. It's like having like those keyboards and stuff.
It's fucking sick.
You're just like, nah, man. You ain't just gonna hold me down with no blue or something like that.
This is the first time recording to that Tascam board too that I've got.
Yeah.
Because I usually run off the computer like through an audio interface into the DAW, but like sometimes I worry about that like. Audio engine is full, or like sometimes your computer can have problems, you know. But these solid state recorders are like
they only do one thing. That's pretty much what it is. Like I was like, that's all we are. We're just the input board and whatever.
See, that board's the shit because you can use it as a live mixer, and like for a band like at PA or like a full on concert, or you can use it as audio interface for a recording studio. And record straight to SD, or you can still use it as a input output for your computer. It's just like the shit.
That's what I was telling you, man.
Sounds good too. Like the compression and the little preamps. So I think it sounds good.
Like I was telling you, like I have like my whole mic setup and everything that I do with. I have my Audio Technica 2020, whatever, all that stuff set up, man. But I spent like $100 on a Tascam, like the little microphone thing where it has like the left and the right, the two input mics on it.
It's like a field recorder.
If I put it right, field recorder. If I put it right between you and me, it sounds clearer than that whole fucking thing. And you're just like, what the hell?
Dude, Tascam stuff is the shit, man.
Dude, and it was like, it was one of those big recommendation things that I was like, I'm trying to find something. So if I do this, because I was living in Vegas, stuff like that. I was like, if I decide to do a podcast or anything with wrestling, I need a microphone. And especially since I travel so much, I should have a Tascam. Or something like that. So whenever I go to Arizona, I record it. But the issue with recording stuff like that is that you'll record the whole thing, then you'll just be like, I don't want to edit this. I don't. Like, can I just put this out like this? And you're like listening to it, and you're just like, We could have been better. Our cues are shit.
This is cool because it grabs it all to the SD card, and then you just throw that on your computer, and then you could throw it in your editing, your DAW and whatever, and chop it up if you want.
That's how mine was. It has the SD card in it. Then you just plug it in directly, and you could just transfer the file straight to that. But it's so complicated, but it's so simple. Like if you just want to start and go off with it, it just takes like 5 seconds. But if you really want to like organize it and stuff and like put titles on everything like that, you just kind of sit there and just mess with it for a bit.
Yeah.
And everything like that. But other than that, I was like, it's so easy to use and it just sounds nice.
Yeah. They sound crisp. These, I usually don't edit these much. Like there's been a few episodes where something was said where it was like, yeah, I ought to cut that out, you know, something a little too gnarly or something. Or
white supremacy.
Very rarely. Or I don't know. It's just if something happens like an error, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't cut anything out of these.
Like someone coughs directly into the mic or something, you're just like, shit, that don't sound good. It's like, I don't know. That's the cool thing about like a lot of podcasts and stuff like that, especially with video. Because like I said, when we did the Go Home show back in Vegas, it was a one-shot thing. And it was pretty much we're using the same angle, but we're just optimizing it to be different things where it'll be one camera, but you'd be able to zoom in on certain people because it was such a wide angle and it looks so decent with it. And it's the same camera I use to film like skateboarding and stuff like that. And when we were just able to take that one thing and we just kind of edit it, keep going. So the flow was easy. The hardest part of it, other than that, was just matching up the audio because I'd pull it from the Tascam, put it in there. I'm just like sitting there for like 10 minutes, just like making sure it don't like, just like the slightest echo, and you're just like, am I hearing this right? I don't know.
It doesn't look like a kung fu movie from the 70s.
Well, not even that. It's like you'll be like that, you know, like
just very slightly off.
It's just that much off to where it just bugs you.
Oh,
like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like it's like when you hear a song and like the bass hits like just that much off, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And you don't know why. You don't know why you're going, ugh. But then like you look at it, you're like, oh, the audio's off.
That fucks you up, yeah.
Yeah, by like 0.0009 seconds or whatever. And you're
like
just
my homie had that game Rocksmith. It's like you could plug it's like Guitar Hero, but you could plug in a real guitar.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I'm like, dude, this is a sick ass concept. He'd be like, this game is fucking sick. And I'd be like, I'd want to try it, you know? And I would try it, but I'd have that latency. Like they didn't have the latency worked out where like you would hit a note and a split second later you'd hear it's like being on speaker and you hear yourself talking and you're like, motherfucker, get me off speaker. Like this shit's annoying. Like I'm just hearing myself talk, you know?
You're like, dude, you're like, hey.
But when you're playing an instrument, like it's important to like have that feedback immediately.
Yeah.
If you're getting the latency, you're like, man, this shit's like fucking me up.
Like you notice that like if you like stream or anything like with your headphones on or when you do music, if the audio is just a little bit too delayed and you'll just be like, you feel like you're talking over yourself and you're just like, and you'll be sitting there and there's times I'll be like 30 seconds in and I was like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, man. You're talking too much. And you're just like, shit, I gotta fix my headphones. It should not be like this, man.
You're already irritated, yeah.
And you're just like shaking. You want to punch yourself in the face. And you're just like, I just want to fucking fight somebody, but it's just me. I don't know what the fuck this is. But yeah, like it's just got to be so like on point, and when it's like directly to the board and anything like that, directly to the mic, when any like direct sources are just going to be that much better, with everything. And it's like same for like filming, like everything. Like if anything's just slightly off with filming and stuff like that, like the beat's got to be on, everything's got to be on. And there's points where skating, like filming skating and like editing skating is so fucking easy, man. I don't care what anyone says. It's so easy. Once you can really learn how to just throw yourself into it, it's like everything just kind of clicks. If everything can click for you, you're good.
I agree. I think you can make it like as hard or as easy on yourself as you. Yeah. It's like, it's up to you.
If you can't lose yourself to like editing and stuff like that, then it's like, don't do it. It's, if you want to try hard and be like, everything's got to be like a million times special. No, you just kind of just sit there and just kind of click through it. Like I'll just be click and just click.
Dude, I used to edit so fast with iMovie.
Oh yeah.
And just like a point and shoot. It was a point and shoot mainly for photo, but I use it for video. It was like my first camera. And that video, the one that I made was kind of shitty. Not the Orange Curb video, but the one prior.
Oh, see, I'm like, don't agree.
No, the Orange Curb video was actually pretty sick.
No, the Orange Curb one was dope, man.
I put some effort into that one, but I kind of kept it simple though, and I was like just clip after clip, like edit it pretty fast where it's entertaining, you know, and then like I do that kind of sometimes where it's like coming in frame from the left, then the next one if you can have a frame from the right, and like keep it going like this. Hitting him with clips from like, you know, the skaters coming this way. If you can, the next clip's coming this way.
Okay,
and
so
it's just like balance.
You're just like, let's just get the flow into the video and stuff like that. Mine's just always with the music, man. Like it's always got to be at a certain part of the beat. So I'll be like cutting it down to like milliseconds to where I'm just like, I'll be sitting there and it'll be like click, 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 delete, click, click, delete that.
Oh, I know.
And it comes down to where it's just like it's so precise too, where it's like if anything drags, if anything feels like it's dragging, it's just like I hate this shit. And like by any means, I'm like I'm not the greatest at this or anything like that. Shit, I'm barely consider myself good with editing, but I'm just like when I get into it, I just feel like it feels like it's magical, you know? Like it's weird. It kind of feels kind of like played out to say shit like that, but I'm like something about it just feels like right. And when it feels right, that just makes you want to just keep doing it and just keep doing it and stuff like that. But then
it's like the flow state or creative flow state, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes finding that flow is just hard too.
It's hard.
It's hard just to really like get into it. Once you really get into it, that's when like the magic happens.
And time just goes away.
But when you're sitting there and you have all like 8 million ideas in your head, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? That's when like shit don't get done.
Flow state, you don't even realize you're there until you come out. And then you're like, wait a minute. Oh, I was in that shit for a while. It's like the refrigerator, like when it kicks off and you're like, damn, like I didn't realize how loud that fridge was until it kicked off.
Yeah, you're like,
it's quiet in here now. But like that's how the flow state, you know, like, or whatever you want to call it, when you enter that zone where you're like just going and going and you're like, what the fuck? I've been in here for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, where'd the time go? And you got a bunch of work done. That's the shit.
Yeah, when I was at the college and because we were using Final Cut up there, which is pretty much the closest thing you're gonna get to like Adobe on like Mac or something, which is probably Adobe on Mac now. But back then that was the big thing we had. If you're using Mac, you're using Final Cut Pro. If you're using if you're using anything else, it's like Vegas or Adobe Go Live or not Go Live.
Like for video editing?
Premiere, yeah. And we would use Final Cut and like it was the same exact thing and we sitting there just and I see people just like just fucking like there's people who get into it and there's people just like trying to make a video where it won't be as good as a video, but you see them working that much harder, and you're like, oh, you just kind of like gotta let it happen, you know. And it's I think it's more of a thing with like skating and like sports and everything like that, or like if you're like filming like compilation stuff or anything like that, when you're putting a bunch of random fucking clips with the same shit together, which is pretty much what skateboarding is. Yeah, where it's like we're just gonna put it's America's Funniest Home Video, but it's all skateboarding. That's pretty much what it is.
It is, yeah, man.
And it's like when you're doing stuff like that, it's just kind of like it's so easy to get lost into that. But when you're like trying to tell yourself, I got to tell this story, I got to tell that story, I got to tell this story, it's a little bit rougher. That's why I say skateboard is like the easiest shit, because it's like there's no clear cut story you're trying to tell except for these fuckers skate. Like with my video, it's like these guys are skating, they're having fun. The storyline is just pretty much we skating this spot, then we're gonna skate this spot, then we're gonna skate this spot. Yep. Then like with like anything else, like the warehouse video we filmed here, it was like I was like it's so easy because I'm just like just whatever. Like they're not even the same days. Like nothing even really blends. Like you'll see like JoJo wearing his purple shirt in one clip. Then like 10 clips later, he's back in that purple shirt, and there's like the same day, or it might be a different day. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, no, I like that too. I like the randomness. Like it doesn't always have to be there's no formula to it.
It's easy with the theme.
There's a formula like where you can open it up, and then you can like showcase everybody, and then like you save your like dope shit for the end. You're like, damn. I mean, that's kind of typical, you know.
Well, yeah, like
bangers
the
at
whole
the
story
end.
is building or stuff like that, and sometimes it's. I treat it like wrestling, man. Where wrestling, the way you build a match, or the way you build a card, more so saying you want your exciting shit at the beginning, draw people in. The middle's kind of showing them what you're doing. Then the end's just like this is why you need to come back, and you're just like, oh, okay, that kind of makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think it's the same like archetype or whatever. That's the same formula for like a lot of things, like a music set. You know, like when we go out and play a show, you open with something that's like fun and upbeat. You go through all these ups and downs, and then like you save your like shit for like you got to come back like your epic shit at the end. Or
then you got like Leonard Skinner, who's just like fuck you. We're just gonna drop the beat, pick it up 8 million times, and it's still gonna go fucking hard. And you're just like I don't even know, man.
Them live Freebirds, man, it's like gnarly. They could fucking guitar solo for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and
shit.
shit.
What's that 40-minute song by Leonard Skinner? You're just like, which one? Like that's what it is. Like it's pretty much the first things should always be a banger. Then the middle is just like cool trick, cool trick, cool trick. Then even bigger banger, or your biggest banger at the end.
Right.
But like I said, if you want people to stick to the end, you got to have something at the beginning just to grab them in. That's always what it is.
It's good to have a good opener, someone that catches you with that hook, you know.
Yeah,
reels you in.
And like I said, that's just so easy. If you understand the basic idea of like building something, it's so easy. And that's pretty much the principle I went by with like the other videos. Like I filmed so much shit over the past 5 years that just
at least
that I didn't put out because I wanted it all to go together and feel good. And I'm just like, I don't know what clips to put over. I don't know what kind of story I'm trying to tell just because it's so random. Every week's like we're in like 30 different places. And I'm just like, do I want to put everything from this place in these clips, or do I just want to do it by person? Which is like, okay, by person. But it's like also like I don't want to go back to places. I don't want to be like we're at the orange curb here, then next thing you know we're at Target or Walmart or something, and then fucking we're back at the curb. Nah, we got to find a way to do that. So everything got grouped together, where it's like I grouped together all these tricks in this place. You might see it in another clip with someone else, but it's a completely different video at that part. So when it came down to editing that one, my We Ain't Shit project, which I'm changing the name to Ferda, which I told you about already.
Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know, this is a new and upcoming thing you're gonna be releasing.
Yeah. No, this is it's not new, but it's the thing I'm gonna be.
The footage isn't new, but the edit's new.
Yeah, there's gonna be shit that people are gonna be like, oh, I remember doing that, or
it's unreleased footage.
Yeah, I say it's about 80-20 maybe, or maybe even 70-30 as far as like new, like unreleased and to stuff people seen, just to kind of put it together, because there's some clips I took from like that was on Instagram for a while, but that fits in here, so I could put that in here because it's kind of
sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck it, man, only 100 people seen the thing, and I'm just like working with that shit. I kind of lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
The edits, the We Ain't Shit. You were talking about what were you going? Oh, organizing it by spots.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that one's tough because like I said, the way I broke that down, that made it easier for me. Because lately I've been doing a lot of fucking nothing. I literally can't do much right now, except
we can get into that. Yeah.
Like right now I'm just kind of just doing the basics, whatever stuff, just trying to work on my stuff. But I've had a lot of time, and now I'm like, okay, I'm slowly recovering through a back injury and stuff like that, and I'm like, shit, I need something to do. Might as well get this done. And I'm like, what's the best way to do this to organize it to where it doesn't feel like work? Because it feels like work having to go back to something like that after all these years. So I was like, you know what? Instead of just trying to make it all as like one 10, 12-minute video, I'm going to break it down into 4 little videos and put it together. So I'm just like, so there are 4 different videos that I'm just going to put out individually. I'm starting with the first one I'm going to put out. It'll be out by the time this podcast is out, which will be the kids part, which will be a lot of the younger cats and like folks that I like film with and stuff like that. So like if you're like, oh, all my other homies have jobs and they're all at work, you don't do shit but go to school, let's go, we're gonna go skate the college or something like that, or roll, let's go film here or something like that. That's pretty much what the kids part feels like. When you're looking at it, you're just like, I'm ready to film. These cats want to film and they don't have shit else to do because all they do is go to school and skate. Yeah. Where everyone else is like
busy.
Yeah, like I gotta go to work. And I'm like, I don't do shit but work, film, and at that time train. Like that was all I was doing at the time. I was like, I don't have a social life. I film. That's my social life at that point. I'm just like,
sure.
Yeah, let's go. And that was the thing. I think that was the thing about like at the time I needed to be able to throw myself into something. And I'm like, I've already loved filming this whole time, as well as like shit. When I was like a little kid and we had like Avery, he was even like littler kid and stuff like that.
Oh man, yeah.
I have footage of him on a camera with like the old VHS tapes in it, and I'm just like, yeah. Like, I was like, we've been filming since then. We used to try to do jackass stunts. We used to always try to freak out my friend's mom. I
busted out my VHS compact.
Yeah, that's what it was. The VHCs. That's the one I'm thinking about.
I got some right behind me over there. I got this transfer thing where you could transfer it to digitalize it, you know?
Oh, I'm
gonna make some edits out of all that shit, dude. Old footage.
Dude, I'm gonna have to bring mine over here, man, because it's like the VHS 8s and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah, I have the little tape adapter where you put the VHC into the tape adapter, and you throw it in your VCR, and then like you can use a camera for playback device, but I don't still have the old camera I had, but I have a VCR.
See, I have the camera, but it doesn't do the battery doesn't work. So I have like a tape stuck in there.
If you have the little tapes though, and the tape adapter, you can just use a VCR, and then you could instead of plug in.
Man, no one's got a VCR, man.
I got one, dude. You can go to the pawn shop and get one for fucking. I think I got mine for $20. It's badass.
Yeah, I was like
Panasonic.
I don't even think my TV has the plugs on the back anymore for that.
You don't, but you get this little adapter box, dude. This little these little fuckers right here. Yeah, it's because I was looking. It's got your what is that? S video, left and right audio, and then
SVGA and all that.
Then you got your HDMI on the other side.
Oh, sick!
So it'll spit the red, white, and yellow out to HDMI. Get one of them little bastards and you're golden.
I know. I was looking into that a few years ago, and I'm just like, man, it just seems like because you pretty much got to play the VHS the whole time while it converts it.
Yeah.
To the thing, and you're just hours of just like sitting there and doing it and stuff like that.
You could mute the sound. It'll still record the sound, but you can mute the sound and just go do something else and come back to it. You can even preset the time where it's like stop recording after like 60 minutes or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was something I was gonna do. I'm just like I got lazy. I get lazy sometimes. So I'm just like,
just since I'm all fresh with this shit because I was literally just doing it. But it's this little bastard. This thing is sick, dude.
Oh, you're talking about where you have like the what you call it?
So, yeah, you would plug your audio and visual cables into this.
Then you just plug it directly into.
And that could be the other end could go to your VCR or your camera, whatever you're using for playback.
Yeah.
And then this end plugs into your computer, and then you get a little free app, and it's like easy as shit. You can look this up online. For anybody just listening in, it's called the Elgato Video Capture. You could capture all
Elgato's the one.
You could capture all your home movie shit from back in the day on them fuckers. Real easy.
All those people on Twitch you see playing Nintendo and shit like that, man. That's what they use. Or like PlayStation 5, they plug these into this, then they plug it in. It's probably pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's different ones, but I was reading reviews on stuff, and a lot of people were like, "Man, I bought the cheap ones and." Yeah. Shit didn't work, but this one's a little pricey, but it works good.
Yeah, I had like a $70 one back in the day, back for my PS3 when I first started trying to stream, which, it didn't work that well. So I was like, yeah, this is
that fucker, the Elgato is like $85, but
no, I mean, it's so much better now.
You're talking about like your old timeless videos that are gonna degrade. You know, when they're on them old tapes, some tapes fucking wear out and degrade over time.
Dude, I'm just
if you can digitize the footage and back it up on a solid state drive. You know, I mean, it's not totally secure, but at least it's backed up and it's digital. You could edit it and throw it and fucking put it on YouTube or have a link to your phone.
Yeah. Like, I'm just afraid I'm going to look back and just see like some of the embarrassing shit I did when I was like 8.
No, it's definitely, you will definitely have that.
Like, there's a video of me out there of like an 8-year-old singing Angel by Shaggy with my friend karaoke style in front of like 500 people at the base for Oktoberfest because they had karaoke during the day. And for some reason, we went up there and said, we're going to sing this song. And I'm like...
The smiles that'll bring to you, though, man. It's so worth it.
We're so dog shit.
It's so worth it, though, dude. Like, I was watching some old skate footy.
Oh, so cringe.
I'm going to be putting some stuff out, so you guys be on the lookout for some stuff, some old VHC footage from me. But, dude, there's, like, clips of homies, dude, when we were just little fuckers, dude. And it's like, it just makes me so happy seeing it, you know? Like, some of it's cringy as fuck. Like, my skating back then, I had this little twitch. Like, sometimes I'd scrape my tail to, like, slow down. And I wasn't even going fast to begin with. And you're like, fool, why are you slowing down? You're not even going fast. Right. And it's so cringy to watch. But, you can see the development of my skating. Like, you can see, like, some of the early frontside flips on flat ground and stuff. And then, like, later on in the footage, you could see me doing it off the orange curb all clean. And you're like, damn. Like, you know, within that, like, year or two, like, I went from, like... not barely being able to do it flat ground to like throwing it off the curb, like, you know, it's just kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, my thing with like those videos is all those videos are like 7th grade and below for me. And I'm just like, shit. So I'm just like,
it's funny, mine started at 7th grade.
Dude, ours is just so much jackass stuff. There's like one time my buddy made me hide under a bunch of his laundry, and I was like, all right, whatever. And we were trying to act like And we were trying to act like Avery got hurt on the treadmill for some reason because we thought it was funny. It's so cringe. And like I'm just sitting there just filming. His mom don't see me for some reason. Like I don't know.
Just goofy shit. Kids.
Yeah, the worst part of that video was finding out that was their dirty laundry, and I was just like, God damn it, man! Like, there's like draws on me. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And there's like, that's funny too. And I was like, y'all should have filmed that.
That's the funniest part about all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, because his mom was all worried about it. And we were like, haha, we got you. And I was like, shit, she's gonna whoop his ass. Oh, God, I want to film this. That would have been the footage.
Oh yeah. That would have definitely been the footage.
I know. We Avery was the one we used to always make do dumb shit because he was like the little kid who just wanted to fit in, and we're just like, all right, cool. Just fucking jump off this thing or some shit.
And that's the thing too. Like little kids can do all that, especially somebody like Avery, who's like a spider. He just fucking jump in off anything, dude, and he'll be fine.
Dude, he was like 6, man.
Just jump off a roof, he's fine.
He was like 6, and we're like 11 and like 10-year-olds or whatever. So just like, of course he's gonna do all the shit. I've seen that kid swing on so many people.
He's fucking crazy, man. Yeah, or he was. I mean, I wouldn't mess with that dude, especially now. He's all tall as fuck. He's like a foot taller than me.
I know. Recent Avery, I've seen drop kick a kid, which made me laugh so hard.
He's a tough dude. He's a tough big old guy now.
He was a little bastard back then. He's mellowed out now.
That motherfucker can skateboard too. I wish he'd still skate.
Oh, dude, I gave him my last board that I got from you too, and I'm just like, just take it. He's like, oh, really? I was like, dog, I'm never gonna fucking skate again.
He got so good so fast, dude. Fuck.
Dude, even when he was with us, he was like we were just proud to be able to do ollies and like almost pop shove and
back in the day.
Yeah, like occasionally we'd like actually land some shit. Like I remember I landed a kickflip, then like 3 seconds later my brain shut off and I just ate shit, and I was just like, okay. I was like, cool, and I just could never do it again, and I just like quit skating. But I'm like, we'd watch him, and I'm just like, if this kid like learns it, because once he kind of learns it, like fuck is
he's just got it. Yeah,
he could get it. But like you see the thing where I'm like, he had the balls to actually like just keep trying, whereas us, like, I rolled my ankle so many fucking times, I was just like, yeah, I'm probably good.
I'm over it.
I'm good.
Fucking done.
Yeah, like he don't roll his ankle, man. Like that motherfucker's bones were made out of rubber back then. Just like shit. Like I'd walk too fast and roll my ankle. I don't know. That's how it felt like sometimes as a kid.
For sure.
Like especially when you're the older kid and you see the younger ones. Like, man, when you my age, you're like, man, shut the fuck up. You're like 12. What the fuck are you talking about? You're like, when you old like us.
That's the thing. Your perspective changes. Like I remember, skating. I was like, what I felt was like I was like real little. I was like one of the little guys at the park. Like, I mean, I was like 10 or some shit when I started going there. I was little. So the big guys were like 17 and they were like miles beyond me. Like those guys were like adults, you know? Like, they had cars and beards and shit. And like they were skating all the big stuff and jumping off shit. And like, but you look back now and you're like, the 17-year-olds, dude, you know? Right. They're like fucking, they're just kids, you know?
Mm-hmm. And like the weird point of view of being a kid, and this is how I am with wrestling too. Whenever I see people get body slammed and stuff like that, I'm just like, your body can't handle that. Your body can't take that shit. Like it didn't click in my head. Like I didn't know how tough people could be, and I was like rolling your ankle or taking shinners all the time, and you're just like just watching the guy get suplexed in front of you, and like just like how loud it gets because it just sounds like someone getting slammed on wood, which
is basically what it is.
Yeah. With the give and stuff like that. But like I said, until you do it, you're just like that looks like the most painful shit in the world. Then you do it, you're just like, oh, it is the most painful shit in the world.
But you just keep doing used to it. You build a tolerance, like getting shinners, skateboarding, and whatever.
Like when you see people land primo and stuff like that, and you're just like, how, like,
or just taking the, like when you do something like down something big and then you fall and you just go to your side, like hip slam, shoulder slam, and like you just keep doing that over and over, and you're like, god damn, after a while, like, it wears on you. But
like the first time you land on your wrist and you're like, my arm's broken now, my wrist is broken now. I can't. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a skateboarding thing where like now, like sometimes when I like got to push up, like to stand up, or like, you know, when you're getting up, I'm just like, I just got to make sure my wrists are like fucking aligned. Because if not, it's just going to hurt after a while.
Yeah. We got to break some of this shit down. No, so like, obviously like the filming, the wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Like the current back.
I'm all over the place.
The struggles you've gone through, like how you got into filming and shit. But maybe let's talk about let's talk a little bit more about this video. Like, how the hell did you get into filming? Like, I mean, aside from your old stuff, like Jackass shit back in the day with a VHS-C camera.
Dude, it's pretty much.
When did it start? Like when you started filming skating?
Skating pretty much was me trying to figure out, because I went back to skateboarding because I was kind of going through some shit back in 2015, and I was like, you know what? I've been telling myself for the past however many years that, you know what would be cool? Like just to try skateboarding again. Because I'm like, I used to love just like riding my board. Like I used to always skate down the street to my friend's house and we'd hang out. We'd do the thing where you flip the board to like Casper while you're sitting down and always, or you put it on your feet like that and you'd always flip it and land it. Like I always thought that shit was so cool. And I was like, I've landed a couple things. Maybe I could get it back. But I'm just like, fuck, I'm so big now. Whatever. But I was like, let's just try skating again. I bought a skateboard. I bought an almost board, so it was like a 775, which, judging by my size, is not fucking good.
That's a twig, yeah.
I broke it in 6 days.
Yeah.
It was a Batman thing, too, and I broke it Bane style, so it's like right down the spine.
Fits.
I was like, yes. I was like, I'm kind of proud of that.
Oh, man.
But then I ended up getting, what you call it, I think it was a girl board. It was the Coming to America one.
Oh, sick.
With the Eddie Murphy on it. So I ended up getting that one, which lasted me, like, I didn't break another board for at least another 2 or 3 years.
Nice.
And like I said, dude, all I do is fucking ollies and my weird pop tricks. But like, I just found a way to like skate again, where I was just like, let me try to make this to where it's more accustomed to me, to where I am, because I'm like, I'm a big dude. I'm like 270, 280 at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to skateboard, and I'm just like, my knees are already shot from wrestling.
Yeah.
And I was taking a break from wrestling, and people like, I know Pizza was filming for his class and stuff, and he would be filming skateboarding and stuff like that. Jared was kind of taking his break from the thing, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, we should get clips of this, we should get clips of this, but no one's filming. And I already love filming, you know. And what you call it? Before that, like I was always trying to do shit for YouTube. What really got it to you? You remember Eric, right?
Oh yeah.
Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember Dollar General Man?
Vaguely.
He did a video called Dollar General Man where he wore some high fucking shorts. He had like the Luffy One Piece hat on, the straw hat, and he carried a Dollar General bag, and he'd run around to Pokemon music, to the Pokemon theme song, just being goofy as shit, like for no reason. And I'm just like, fuck it. I was like, I want to film stuff. I want to do videos. Let me try to get in with this cat. So I ended up convincing him to do a couple videos with me back then for filming. Then it eventually turned into me being at the gym, filming stuff with some of the homies and stuff like that. And like some of the videos didn't go out there because I didn't understand digital and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
I have DVDs out there of like Rafino. Like 15-year-old Rafino with the nice cut hair.
He was all clean and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was always like, "I'll fucking fight you, you fool."
That motherfucker. Yeah.
And I had
he's cool as shit though.
My buddy,
shout out Fino, motherfucker, wherever you're at.
Yeah, I think he's back in town.
Man, his orange curb part was fucking sick. His part was badass. He fucking threw down like.
Fino was like a little shit, man. He was like super posh kid and stuff like that. But then like eventually he just decided to quit like washing and stuff like that and just like put so much more into like skating. Like he dedicated himself to skating.
He was one of the kids, honestly, I didn't like him at first.
Oh, no one does.
And I didn't like him at first, but I like after a while I was like, you know what? This dude fucking skates hard, man. Yeah. And like it's just like skateboarding weeds out people that aren't about it, you know. And you're like, I mean, obviously he's about it because look at the shit that he's doing, you know.
Oh yeah, he was good about earning that respect.
And then like once I connected with him on a skating level, then I started talking to him more, and I realized he was pretty fucking cool, you know. But
once I realized he just didn't give a fuck.
He was cool though. He was cool.
Where he would just like do shit, just like when I realized he would just do shit, just to kind of like pop the boys and shit like that, just to make people laugh, just like stupid shit. And I was like, oh, okay, he's not too bad. You know?
I like him because he'd stir it up too, like, you know, he had just enough shit talking to like keep things fun.
I know, but then you like look at him, he's like, no, I'm just kidding. I was like, fucking Fino, man.
Someone's got to have fun with it. He was always pretty fun.
Oh yeah, you never see him like super mad, but sometimes like he'll be like upset and stuff, and you're like shut the fuck up, you'll be fine.
But you were saying you said you had footage of Fino because you started to film some old stuff because you weren't good at digital something or other.
Well, I used to record on a CD, and I didn't know how to transfer shit to like whatever because I was never good with
to edit it and put it online.
I was never good with that.
How do you get this to there?
Yeah, and it was until I was able to get me a digital camera, and that's when I linked up with Eric, and I was filming him, and we had our videos where I was just like, oh, I can upload through this. It's so much easier. So I have like, not only do I have VHSCs that no one has ever fucking seen, I have those DVD, those mini DVDs. They're like DVD-Cs or whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
And I have I have some of those around where Fino's trying to prove how tough he is. Because we're all training, and he's like, and my buddy's little brother there, and they're like the same age, and he's like, yeah, I'll wrestle you. And they're just wrestling, and for some reason my buddy put a CD in which is playing the Isley Brothers, and it's playing the song I think Contagious. So it's like a slow ass song, and these guys are on the ground like hugging each other, and it's like they're just like both, it's like they're both in a headlock at the same time, so they're just kind of like that. And I'm just like sitting there, and like Cass is there, and I was like, this is oddly sexual, man. We should probably break them up. We should probably break this up. I was like, I feel this feels wrong. So, like, I don't know. I just love the idea of like filming and editing and stuff. And with the Eric stuff, that's when I really got into editing. And I think that's because I bought Sony Vegas, and my plan. This is like 2008, 2009. At that point, where I was just like, I want to start doing videos. Because, like, I'm like, shit, man, fuck it. Like, the hardest part about that is trying to get everyone else to coordinate with you. Yeah. When everyone else is doing their own shit. Especially when you're, like, 19, 20. Everyone else is just like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. Everyone else has their own plans in their head where they're like, we got to... They're worried about all the, like, I don't know.
They're jumpstarting their life, trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do.
Yeah, and it's just like, you're just like just take
or they're not jumpstarting their life, and they're just partying or whatever. But everyone's like, yeah.
It's a little bit of both for everybody. And it's... Like, when people just like, man, I just have free time, man. I was like, man, I finally got some free time, man. I just want to take a nap. And he's like, come on, man, let's film this. And I was always like, I don't know, what's the term? Burning the candle at both sides?
Yep.
And I was always the one where I'd just be like, Sean's just always sleepy. I'm just like, I'm always tired. I was like, if I wasn't filming and nothing like that, I was sleeping. I wasn't doing shit else. I wasn't going to parties. I wasn't whatever. I would train and I'd do whatever. And filming just became a thing where I just ended up buying like all these cameras, trying to find different things. I tried to do vlogs, which I was just like, nah, I'm not into this. I filmed what you call it, because my buddy used to work at Desert. What is it? The Toyota Desert Sands.
Desert Sun.
Desert Sun. Yeah. He worked there, and they used to do a thing where they'd have guys like, film a little commercial thing, and if it's good enough, we'll send that out to TV.
Oh,
and
shit.
You seen someone Caruvias and stuff.
Yeah.
With Luis.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this was pre-Luis. And my buddy had me go out there and film some stuff for him in, like, white sands. And I was already, like, exhausted trying to film everything else. I was trying to film wrestling stuff. I was trying to film stuff for Cass and him doing his martial art reels. And I was like, all right, I got the footage, man, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it out in like 2 days. I was like, I'll give it to you. So I don't know what happened to that footage.
It may or may not have gotten used, or who knows.
He probably has it on a like hard drive somewhere that he watches occasionally. Just thinks like, man, I could have did something with that shit. I don't know. But
you just never know.
Yeah, I don't know how to put it together, a fucking scene.
So you've made all kinds of videos. Like, it started way back in the day with just a dad cam that you got from like, maybe it was sitting around the house or some shit that your parents had.
Dude, definitely. Like there's basketball games from like 1994 of me when I was like 5.
Yeah.
And like videos in there. That's why I'm just like
kid videos, and then the shit with Avery, and then a little older with Fino, and then Eric Burton, and
well the cameras change. But like it started with the Sony Handycam, which was the Avery days. Then after that, I had the VHS. I had another VHS-C one, but I had I had the DVD one, which was like the Fino time and everything like that.
Yeah. Which
I had the even smaller VHS one.
The mini DVs.
Yeah, because I'd had the mini DVs and the DVD ones that were kind of like the same era.
Yeah.
Then I bought the digital one, and that's when I started filming with Eric and Cass and them. Then I bought those flip cam ones, the ones that they sold specifically for vlogs and stuff, or for YouTube people.
Yeah.
I bought one of those for some reason because I was just like, this is what I need because it was HD.
Yep.
Like, and you knew it was going to be HD because it was flaunted all over YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is definitely the one.
The early YouTube days.
Yeah, because I didn't know about research and shit back then. Then I had that and filmed a bunch of stuff with that. Then I eventually ended up getting just like a camera for when I was wrestling. And that was like 2010. I got just a regular camera. And 2010, 2011, that's what I'd film myself with. So like the audio would always be like slightly off, or it would always peak for no reason. Like
audio problems.
It would just peak so hard, and like there'd be a lag in the audio, but it would match. You know? Like. Because it was like it was just a digital camera you took pictures with.
Yeah, like a point and shoot, but it had a video mode.
Yeah, and
that's my first shit. That's when I started filming my first video on.
Like if I did skating on that.
Actually, that was like later after the VHC days. I had a JVC, VHS-C, like fucking shitty camcorder.
Because I went straight to digital.
Eventually, it was a point and shoot.
Because once I got into digital, it's like everything's going to be digital from now on because digital's just so much easier. Just drag and drop everything to the thing. And
it breaks all your clips up. It's not like one solid tape where you have to be like, wait a minute, find it, rewind it, all this shit.
And it wasn't as good as like my handheld one that I had before that was specifically just made for movies. Because I was like, oh, this one's a camera, stuff like that. Like if I would have filmed a skate park and that, you'd be like, oh, this is dog shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd use that for like wrestling and everything like that. Then people started filming on their phones, and then eventually got a camera. Like an actual camera, which when it comes to skateboarding and film like that, shit, I went way too far back for the stories. Jesus, cut that out. Cut the last 30 minutes out. Fucking.
Nah, we'll keep it in there. People will be down, but if not, they can just skip ahead.
Yeah. Fast forward to the last 30 minutes. I know it's too late now. You've already been through.
Go back in time and fast forward 30 minutes.
Yeah. It was when Pizzo was doing his stuff, and he was like occasionally filming and stuff like that. He was starting his YouTube career, and like I said, Jared just wasn't filming as much. Jared's so sporadic with the shit.
We were doing Curb Appeal Skate Shop.
Yeah.
And he's, working in Kiddo and Rad Dad.
Yeah.
The raddest dad out there.
Yeah. And it's one of those people where it's like, what do you want to do with your free time? Do you want to do more work, or do you just want to kind of unwind and just kind of relax?
Have a beer and skate the curb.
Yeah.
Do some slappies and shit. Yeah.
Because I'm just like, yeah, I've been there where it's to a point where you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to take my free time and chill. And so there's no one really filming, and like everyone was still like hitting the spots and everything like that. And I was like, I can't do shit at these spots. I'm not good at skating. I do the same fucking shit all the time. I'll try something and make it look like I'm attempting to hit, like, oh, Sean trying to hit the spot. And I'm just like, man, I'm too fucking scared for that shit. No, I was like, I'm gonna catch the whatever thing. And I was just like, you know what would like bring me more into the session instead of just, because I don't like just hanging around and not doing nothing.
Just a wallflower.
And I know some people could do that and just like be cool with it, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you always need the people to hype in and all that stuff.
It's just the homies, yeah.
And I was just like, I don't want to do that. I want to be a part of this. And I'm like, I always want to be a part of something. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try to start filming again. Let me see if I can learn how to do this. I could get tips from Jared. I could get tips from Pizzo. And I think what really like solidified it was Pizzo selling his T5i because he's going to buy a T6i or whatever.
He's upgrading.
Yeah, he was
at the time.
Mm-hmm. So he was selling this whole set. I was like, dude, I'll buy it from you. And conveniently for me, I had just gotten my first ever credit card for some reason. And I had a thing where I was able to take money out from the bank.
Oh, get to cash advance or whatever.
Yeah, so I ended up just like getting the money, and I just gave it to him, and just like,
bam! Now you're set up. Now you got a rig.
I had a fisheye as well.
It has a fisheye and a whole kit. Yeah, batteries and fucking X handle and all that shit.
The only thing I didn't have was the light and the handle. That's the only things I didn't
and that
really
shit's
have.
cheap shit. You you could get expensive good ones, but you can get started for.
Yeah, so pretty much I buy
cheap.
his stuff, which gives me the batteries, gives me all the hookups and all the stuff. I buy the handle, I get the light, I buy me a fucking backpack I can carry with. Then pretty much from then and out, you never see me without that bag. And I was always filming. Anytime we go to the spot, I'd be filming. And you think back to the days when we'd be at the mall for like 2 hours, and I'm just pretty much sitting there.
I know which night you're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly what night I'm talking about. Because you remember what happened afterwards, because it was the Zero weekend.
Was it?
Yes, it was.
I remember the night we were skating the mall, and like JoJo and me, and like we were skating by that fire hydrant.
Yeah.
He was trying to ollie it or half cab it or something, and he was trying that shit for a while.
Yeah, and
but that was a dope session.
It was pretty much me sitting there in a squat position for like 2 hours, which I wish I could do that now. just doing that the whole time. Yeah, because that Sunday we all went to El Paso to do the C to Zero thing. That's the one where I hit Gus with the Kindle stick. Yeah,
with the fucking the indoor demo at Crooks.
Yeah, where
that was fucking sick.
Yeah, that's the one where we did the Kindle shit.
That shit was so
that
sick.
That shit was fun.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, Zero Skateboards, it's a company, Zero. I mean, those who skate know, but if you don't know. Jamie Thomas, like he's one of the founders of fucking modern street skateboarding, big handrails and stairs and shit.
Fuck you, Dane.
But Zero Skateboards, they were on tour, and they were in El Paso, and we went and saw them, and it was at an indoor skate park, and it was the coolest shit ever because, like, we were all skating the park, and then it's like, all right, the Zero team's going to skate. All right, so everyone cleared the floor. That's just the etiquette.
And by the way, when he says we all, I was sitting at the top because I had scooted the couch in to get, like, close spots before anyone else could show up there. And I was filming. I pretty much filmed the whole thing, which I don't know if that's legal.
Oh, it is. They don't care. Shit.
Okay. It's on my YouTube, by the way.
We'll have to check it out. I'll put links to your YouTube and stuff, too.
But I have the video because, like I said, that's always a video where we went there and JoJo was super out of it. I got clips of you at Austin High School and Dalen was going off that day.
Jesse
was a piece of shit that day. And
he started to drink, and then he started getting sloppy.
Dude, he did some cool stuff though. He got the
his skating was always dope.
His best skating he did that day was at Crooks. Everything else was kind of mid, but by the time we got to Crooks, he did the backside flip over the fucking
5 set or 6 or whatever.
Well, he did it over the
rail.
Yeah, he did it over the rail thing, over the 5 and 6 to the flat. And I was just like,
it's pretty heavy,
because you had him and Smosh Jensen,
Josh.
Yeah, you had Josh. Those two are pretty much like standouts as far as like that went.
Oh yeah,
Dalen kind of like was already dead from skating the rest of the day.
He put it down in the streets that day.
Then it came to a point where like you and JoJo were just like, yeah, we're just gonna chill.
Dude, it was so sick though, because it's like I was saying a minute ago, like by the time like we all skated the park, but then when the time came for Zero, the team to skate, everyone's like, all right, clear the park, you know, because that's what you do. You let the pros take, do their thing. And so get the fuck out of the way. Yeah, like y'all can skate this anytime. Like it's let them do their thing, you know.
Yeah, like so that's why we're here.
You get everyone clear off, and then like we went upstairs to that balcony, and there was like a raw ass punk rock band.
Oh yeah, they're like Space Station, whatever thing.
They had some long ass name. It was like fucking 6 words long, and you're like, dude.
I still follow them on Instagram, but if you ask me to find them, I would not be able to find them.
You gotta have a more of a memorable name than that. But still, they are rad. Shout out to whatever that band is. And
yeah, who the fuck you guys are?
Good job. Like it took me back though. It felt like I was in like a 411. Like in the 90s, like the 411 VM video magazine, like the old school videos.
Dude, it was sick, man.
Because it's like in the 411s, they would do industry profile or like Wheels of Fortune. They'd have these different sections of the video, but then they would be like, oh, we got the Zero demo or whatever, hypothetically, right? And then it'd be like a cut scene to it. It'd be like it's like we were in one, dude. It was like fucking sick ass punk rock band and like the Zero team, and you're like, dude, there's Jamie Thomas, dude, just like Impossible 50 down the hubba.
And he's dead.
You're like, and he's
fuck yeah, and he's eating shit.
It was so sick. And out of all my years skateboarding, I haven't been to that many. Like you'd think I'd have been to more stuff like that, but it's like
I've only been to 2.
I've only been to a couple, and that one was like really, I don't know, it was really special to have gone to that one because of how it was indoors. There wasn't that many people, like punk rock, and it was like it was so fucking sick.
Because I went to the one the year before. Or
God
whatever.
Damn.
Circa had one where you had like Kirby up there, then you had Carlin. Damn. And I was like, and Neen Williams was out there, which was dope. And it was cool. It wasn't as hype as the fucking Zero. The Zero one was so cool. Like I said, we got to watch Jamie Thomas fucking die. Dude went for the impossible 50-50 and just ate shit so hard. And didn't he come back like what 15 minutes later and land that shit?
Oh, he pulled it by the end of the night.
Yeah,
for sure.
and we're like, damn, this dude's like 45.
He wasn't leaving that on the table.
Yeah, like
fuck no.
Like
he impossible 50 down Clipper ledge. He ain't letting that little Crooks hubba take his fucking soul.
I know, but
he's like fuck that little hubba. I'm gonna get this shit.
Like he had the guy like helping him walk and shit afterwards. I'm just like, damn.
He fucking caught some slamburger. Yeah, that's for sure.
But then like the whole, like I said, the whole fuck you Dane shit with Jesse, where Dane Berman ended up blocking him on Instagram because he was like, fuck you Dane.
Talking mad shit to like a pro skater.
dude.
I mean, he was just sarcastic, but he was drunk though.
Oh, dude, he was like, if you don't land this here, I get your shirt. And Dave's like, all right, fucker, or I can't do an Australian accent, so I'm not gonna try.
Dane Berman's gnarly, man. God
Dude,
damn.
But he didn't. The thing he don't get is like the way like we are, where it's like I was like Jesse loves you. That's why he's so shitty towards you, because he thinks he's like fuck you for being so good.
Yeah,
that's what he's saying the whole time. And Berman's just like, why is he saying fuck me? I thought he liked me. I don't know why.
You're like, nah, dude, this kid actually really likes you, respects you, totally respects you.
Dude, who else was up there? Sandoval and Brockman.
Yeah, Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie was sick, man. Reggie Meister.
He was killing it.
He's still like...
Dude, Windsor James was there.
Yeah, Windsor James was there, dude.
I had him sign the It's Time fucking Circa DVD that I have. Dude. Even though it was a Zero event, but I was all, dude, bro. I was all, at the shop signing, I was all, dude. He actually told me, too. He's like, it's sick that you brought this. He's like, this was a special thing. He was like, because when we were filming this, they decided to like give it away for free or something. And he's like, they weren't really doing that at that time. And he's like, this was a really special time in my career. And he's like, it's really cool that you brought this video out.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, dude, I was like, man, a lot of you Zero guys were synonymous with Circa. So I was like, I figured I'd bring it because I didn't have much. I'm never the fanboy kind of guy either. I'm like, you got to sign this for me, like, or like you got to talk to me or whatever, because I'm just like, he's just a person from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
So I try not to fan out too hard. But like I said, I've never really done that. I've never really been to a show. That was like the first and only shop signing I've ever been to.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck it, I'll take something and get it signed. And I took like a Zero DVD and the Circa one.
And I feel like we all had like our own unique experiences with that. Where I think eventually Jesse and JoJo ended up in the van with the guys
smoking out.
Yeah, smoking them out.
Yeah.
Then I don't know what. Dalen just fucking got worn out and just came fucking whatever. I don't know what happened with him. He just kind of fizzled out. Then like I said, my whole thing was the Kindle stick. The Kindle stick was fucking went hard though, because I just wanted to get a clip.
So for those who don't know, explain it a little bit.
So like I said, I just wanted to get a clip. So we spent all day filming. Thank you. And it was we went to Northeast skate park at the park where I tried to get some clips. Like I said, I made a whole fucking video at the thing. Then we went to Austin High School where, like I said, got more clips, stuff like that. You'll see some of that footy in the kids part actually. Bringing that up, going back to the video where I have Dalen hitting the stair set, which I don't remember what the stair set was, but I have him doing the board slide down that rail and the ollie over the rail and all that stuff.
Oh, at the Austin High School?
Yeah. And I also have a video of you from it that's in the thing, which is the only time, like one of the few times you ever see Pat eat shit is in this video. And I made sure to put it in there.
I just go tumbling down the stairs and shit. Like, yeah, it's funny.
Because I feel like there's going to be like 20 people just like, I've never seen Pat eat shit before. And there it is. I'm like, there you go. There's your white elephant. But we did that, and I was just like, I'm gonna get the clip. And I was like, I was starting to train again for wrestling, which I hadn't wrestled in 2 years, and I was like getting back into it. So I had a Kindle stick, and I was like, I'm gonna get them to sign this, but I'm gonna see if I can get one of them to hit me for it, because I feel like I could get views on that shit. Well, I'm just like, oh, hit me, and I'm like, who am I gonna ask? I was like, I'm gonna ask the first motherfucker I see, and it was Gus, because it was Gus Servant, one of the rookies on their team. And I was just like, okay, because I feel like it'd be easier to get him to hit me than it would be like, hey, Jamie, you want to hit me with this?
Yeah.
Jamie Thomas is like, okay, and it just destroys me.
He did actually hit you, huh? It was Jamie Thomas.
No, Gus Servant. Gus Servant.
It was Gus. Okay.
Yeah, he was like sitting there and he was about to wind up and hit me and shit like that. And fucking Jamie Thomas walks in there and he's like, the fuck are you doing, man?
Yeah, because he's like the boss.
Yeah, and then he owns Zero, and Servant's just like flinched, just like,
the kid wants me to hit him with the stick.
And he's like, well, let me get my fucking phone then. He goes and grabs his phone and films it, which I was like, fucking post the video.
That's even better.
I wish he would have put it into one of the future like Zero videos or
like the Zero. There's a tour video from that tour. It's actually on YouTube.
Oh, is it? Does it have the Kindle stick?
I forget the name. It fucking might be in there.
Shit, I'm about to look it up. If it is,
we can look it up. Yeah,
we'll look it up. But yeah. So,
but it's there's like a tour. It's got a name. I'll put the link. I'll find it and I'll put the link in there. And you guys,
I just remember the Gary Coleman.
You'll see clips from that night.
I just remember the Gary Coleman booklet we got, the TV guide, which I still have.
Oh yeah, the Windsor James. With he's on the front.
Yeah, where it's Windsor James, but it's Gary Coleman.
That's sick.
So yeah, Gus Irvin hits me with the Kindle stick. Oh, then Jamie Thomas is like, all right, now you get to hit Gus. Because it was all about receipts, and I was just like, respect. I was like, that's a wrestling thing all through and through. And like there's videos of like people asking like Jeff Hardy to chop him, and Jeff Hardy chops his kid, and then Jeff Hardy just like looks up and says, all right, now you're gonna hit me. And the kid's just like, what the fuck? And like that was kind of the moment there too, because I didn't expect him to do that, especially with skateboarding. And he's like, okay, now you're gonna hit Gus. I'm like, all right. I thought I hit him soft. I watched the video back. I hit him pretty fucking hard.
Yeah,
I hit him a lot harder than he hit me. But I snapped it too, so it's probably not as bad. Where
and it sounds worse than it is, huh? Because it's got that like that whoosh, like that.
It stings, but it's like it's so quick that it's like, ooh. I'm like, the worst thing is like,
what do they use that for in martial arts? Like, what's the?
They use it for like, I think they use it for like working with swords and stuff like that.
To replace like what would be a sword.
Like you want to do full contact with the, what you call it? You want to learn how to use a katana. But you want them to know, like, oh, that fucking hurts. Okay, now imagine it's a fucking knife.
Yeah, you'd be fucking, your fucking arm would be gone.
Yeah, we need you to know you're getting hit. We need, so if you want to do full contact, like sword fighting and stuff like that,
sparring and shit in place of a sword.
Yeah, and in wrestling, it's just we're just gonna hit each other with it because it makes a loud popping noise and it leaves a mark.
Yeah,
and I think I had a good mark on my back from it. It wasn't too bad. I nailed fucking serving though. Then I just pass it down the line and everyone signs it for me. And I think Brockman hit Sandoval with it, or vice versa. And I was just like, this is so fucking cool, dude.
It's good times, man.
Dude, it was a fun weekend, man. I fucking enjoyed it. I was like, shit, man, we should do this more often. But then, like, those moments, like, there's like less and less all that stuff. But
I heard a quote the other night, or I think it might have been last night, or it's in a movie. Yeah, we went and saw Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore.
Yeah,
Amy and I just went and saw that last night. Actually, I haven't been to the movies since I don't know how fucking long, like way before COVID and all this shit. But there's a quote in the movie where he's like, "Oh, you don't realize how, like, historical events, like you don't realize the importance of historical events while you're living them."
Oh yeah.
So it's like that night. I mean, it was special, but like you never realize how memorable.
Yeah,
something like that is until later.
Like I still always see the picture of like us at the shop afterwards when we got back into town, and like it's JoJo holding the Zero board. It still hangs up in his house. And
oh yeah,
my Kindle stick, which is somewhere in my garage.
Those are the things that slow your life down, like in a good way.
Oh yeah,
because it's what you call like a novel experience when it's something that you don't do all the time, so it stands out. So that night is something you don't do all the time. It's not every night you go down to Crooks and see Jamie.
Oh, that's something you do once.
Jamie Thomas Impossible 50 down the hubba and see a raw ass punk band and then come back and party with your friends. And like, what'd you do last Wednesday?
Like that's something
I don't even remember last Wednesday.
Exactly,
because it was just the same old shit.
Yeah.
But
like you said, it's like a once in a lifetime deal.
If you can plug more of those novel experiences into your life will feel like more fulfilling, but also like it'll slow down a little bit because like something like that, it seemed like to last forever. Like there's so many memories from that one day. Like think about like a regular Friday or whatever. You're like, I don't know, like maybe I did this or that, but you don't remember all this extent of it.
Yeah.
But we could go on for like 2 hours about that one day in El Paso because it was like, it seemed like forever.
See, that's the cool thing about like skating because you get moments like that. And that's why I think that's why I like it so much because I equivalent it to like wrestling, the way wrestling is, where it's like every time I'm at a show, it's an event. But this event is bigger for those people in the crowd than it is for me because I'm doing this all the time. But there's people out there who like, oh, I don't ever see this. But then like they'll come up to you and be like, yo, you killed it, stuff like that. And then you just remember that shit. And there's always something you remember. Like I remember so many moments, but I'm like, I've done so many fucking shows over the past few years where it's just like they kind of blend together. And I'm just like, I don't remember if this was this show or whatever like that, unless something like special happened, you know? Like I think my first show back after like 2.5, 3 years, we were in Tucson, and I just remember seeing like some like ex-WWE guys. I'm like, cool, I don't never get to do shows with ex-WWE guys. I'm always there with it's just straight indie guys for the most part.
That's legit.
And I was like, these motherfuckers traveled the world, man, and fucking they
did
still
it
travel
for real.
Yeah, and I'm like, they're known by everyone. And like these people paid like 50, 60, 70, hundreds of dollars, bring their families in to come watch them. And I'm like, cool, I get to be in the first 2 matches, which one is a pre-show, which if the show's not being recorded, don't call it a pre-show. We're the opener. Fuck you. And which we were probably, honestly, we were probably the best match in that show.
Sick. Hey, you got to build that foundation like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I sat there with one of the other guys and we're just like, we should have been higher on the card. We're better than most of those matches. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think we were the best match. There's a guy who did think we were the best match. I thought,
but you still set the bar.
Yeah. Oh, dude. I was like, dude. They put us exactly where they needed us. We're the reason that crowd was fucking hype, dude. I stood there and I just pretty much decided, am I gonna fucking lock fingers with this guy for a minute? And I just kind of like, looked at the crowd like, I was like, I don't trust this fucker. Do y'all trust this fucker? Pretty much. And like the crowd just got fucking nuts, and I was just like, oh, this is easy. This is gonna be an easy night. And then it's just like we just kept that momentum going all the way to the end of the match. Then they did the fucking, they had some guy come out and sing the national anthem, which we just kind of like, we're just sitting back there like, okay, what's the fastest? Because we're about to do a 30-man battle royal thing. And I'm just like, all right, which one of you fuckers going to throw me out of the ring? Because I'm not trying to be out there long. I'm tired from the last match.
Oh, sick.
I just want to do this. So.
Wrestling, though, man. We got to dive into some of this, though. So, like.
Oof. So much.
How did you get into wrestling?
Oh, shit. It's a hard question. I don't know. Just like wrestling as a kid, and you're just like, you know what? Like, you always play wrestle with your friends and shit like that, and I know a lot of people did that. I remember we used to wrestle on a trampoline. I know I've kicked Avery in the face a few times as a kid. But yeah, I was just like, I was really into wrestling back then. It was kind of something me and my dad connected on. And I think in like 1998 is when I really started watching it. And that was because of my cousins. Everyone used to be like, oh, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, The Rock. And I'm just like, sure, okay, whatever. I don't fucking care. Then I remember I was in Lubbock and my cousins and he's not my uncle, but he's in that position. He used to work for a company where he was able to get free pay-per-views, and he'd always get the wrestling one. So we're sitting there watching the wrestling one, and it was, I just remember seeing Mankind and Kane. And
Sick.
I think Kane tombstoned him on the steel steps, and my cousins were super hyped. So being a fucking child, I was like, yeah, I'm hyped too now. Then it kind of like snowballed from there. Because before then, my dad would try to get me to watch wrestling, but he'd be watching like late night, like classic wrestling. So it'd be like the one camera on like the shitty thing from like the 70s. And I'm just like, this is fucking boring. Let's watch anything else in cartoons on, or
right.
I don't give a shit about cartoons.
You weren't into it too much.
Yeah, and it just took like seeing like my cousins who are like my age into it and everything to really get me hyped for it. And like then you start like, I remember in 4th grade we'd have like cage matches. Because we'd act like they're cage matches. We had like the fence right next to it, so whenever we go to lunch, we'd be like, cage match, and all we do is throw each other into it. It was the goofiest shit ever.
Yeah, just bounce into the fence and shit.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't really want to get like stunned right now. They're just like, no, you're just gonna act like you stunner him, and we're just gonna act like you're getting hit. And, oh, okay. I was like, hey, we understand what wrestling is, kind of.
Yeah.
Except we were just like, I don't know. We would play around like that. Then you get to the trampoline where people actually get hit and stuff like that.
It progresses its way up.
Yeah, people start to take shots like, boom, oh, he kicked me in the mouth. You just like, quit being a bitch, fucking go. Shoot. I had a kid once. It was me, Avery, and this one kid, and something happened. He got knocked down and he fell. Where he fell with his leg between the trampoline and the surrounding thing.
Like the springs and shit?
Yeah, like he fell down, then he like rotated over. And me being a piece of shit kid I am, instead of helping him up, I jumped down and I start stomping on him like Stone Cold. And he's like, help me. He's like crying. He's like, help me, help. And I was like, shut the fuck up.
He was like legitimately like hurt or whatever.
He was like freaking out because his leg got stuck. And
panicking.
And I was like, I'm going to stomp him out, oh, you son of a bitch. You fucking... We helped him eventually, but I had to get my shit in. Come on, guys. But it's like... grow up, and I remember like middle school, my friend had like a mattress, so we'd always like play wrestle on there. Like we like body slam each other and stuff, and we like plan shit out. Like, hey, I'm going to do this. Okay. You know, like we didn't know what the fuck.
Just mimicking stuff from things you've seen and stuff.
Yeah, and we just try to be as safe as possible because we didn't want to be that kid on the news where he's like, "Oh, kid takes a DDT and dies of a brain hemorrhage."
Yeah,
and it's like I was like, "Well, we're just gonna be careful. We got the mattress. You can
keep it chill."
Yeah, and even when we were taking falls, we were like extra careful with each other. But we were just doing it because we thought it was fun. It was like playing the video games.
I think a lot of us went through that phase. Like I had one friend, we'd skate together and stuff and do a bunch of shit. But like he was bigger and older than me. But like I'd be like, like suplex me onto the mattress or something, you know, or off the dresser, or like since I was smaller and like more agile, I would stand on like the dresser and like fucking flip and land on him and shit, you know.
Yeah.
And like just stupid shit like bedroom wrestling, like.
Here's the thing: it's not even,
you look at it now and you're like, it's kind of gay. I'm just kidding. But
at this point, it's not even phase.
We were just kids, though. You know,
it was like 2017, 2018. I was taking head scissors at the fucking skate park from JoJo. It is not a phase. You pretty much just do this shit forever.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh, okay. Then
okay, and then there's like wrestling, like legit, like grappling and like like MMA, mixed martial arts type shit, where it's like there's like a legit side of wrestling, right?
Yeah, it's all legit.
How would you describe?
A little bit different.
How would you describe like your take on wrestling? Like, what do you do? Like
professional wrestling, I consider it's the what you call it. It's more of an artistic view. It's more of a theater. It's more of a you go out there. You're doing a performance, and you want to be able to get the crowd excited. It's like you're putting out a movie or a TV show, but you're doing it with two people, and you're doing it with physical fighting and stuff like that. You're like, okay, I have 10 minutes to go out there and tell you a full fucking story. You're gonna watch a whole damn movie in 10 minutes of what happens. Okay, I start here. Okay, we're even. Whatever. It's a Rocky fight, you know.
Yeah, ups and downs, and
all it is. It's what Rocky is to boxing, where it's like. Oh, whatever, what's up? You're getting fucking dog shit pummeled and shit, stuff like that. And I'm just like, how many times I've been hit in the mouth wrestling, and people just like, those punches aren't real. And I was like, no, they're pretty real.
They're pretty real when you catch one.
Yeah, they hurt more when the guy sucks at throwing them, but when they're good, it's like not as bad.
So you're juggling this part of like planned and rehearsed, but also.
I wouldn't say rehearsed. The only thing
it's like some of it goes to plan, some of it doesn't. It's improv. It's like jazz.
It's really improv. It's improvisation. It's Shakespeare in the Park, all that shit. It's so you go out there and it's like you have an idea of what you're gonna do, and it depends on who you're wrestling.
And the opponent has somewhat of an idea.
You're pretty much like, hey,
you work a plan together, kinda.
We'll throw some ideas at each other. Hey, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's start this way. We'll finish this way. That somewhere between there, you could do this or whatever. And he's like, hey, I want to try this shit. I'm like, okay, as long as you're not just like throwing random shit at me. A lot of it's you communicate with each other while you're out there. And like I said, it depends on the style you're wrestling. Luchadors, I've been to some lucha shows where those guys plan out every fucking thing.
It's all mapped out.
They plan out their goddamn breaths, and I'm just like I'm gonna take a deep breath here. Fucking, I was like, dog, man, it's not that serious. I love the improv part like that, but I kind of lost it doing lucha libre with everybody. Where I was like, everything's planned out. It's just kind of like it's pretty much we're gonna start here and we're gonna get here. There's no real connection with the fans because everything's just planned. But when you go out there, you kind of base what you do off of how people are reacting. Oh, they're kind of quiet. Let's do something big here. Or shit, they're loud as hell. Let's fucking draw this out. Or let's whatever stuff. We need to get to this point here, but we need the crowd to be so fucking into it by the time we get here, and stuff like that. And you base a lot of the stuff off of reactions and everything like that. So. Like, you never go out there fully knowing what you're going to do. And the matches I have where you do that, it's kind of like you hope the crowd likes it instead of you learn how to work the crowd. You don't learn how to work the crowd doing that shit. You learn to work the crowd when you do the improv shit. So when you're out there, you're just like, oh, they're getting kind of quiet. How do we get them loud again? Dude, I'm going to just start fucking hitting you hard. I'm going to just start slapping you across your chest real loud. Because it's cheap. People will hear it and just, ooh, when you slap someone across the chest hard as shit, people flinch.
Shock value. Like,
yeah, like there's like, oh shit. Like you can do it to anyone. Like, example here, I've had people ask me to chop them. And I'm just like, okay. And you've seen me do it here. And I've chopped the shit out of them, and like people just like, oh shit, you good? It's like, no, it's cool. I asked them to do that, but like you notice how everyone's attention just like they're just on you, like they just fucking they go from like, okay, there's something going on over here to asking what the fuck's going on over here.
Focus, yeah,
and you want that attention and stuff like that, and like I said, wrestling's hard to explain because like so many people think they know exactly what it is and stuff like that, and they try to be like, oh, I listen to podcasts, stuff like that. I was like, you kind of got to fill it out if you're not in there in the moment feeling it. And I was like, it's kind of like imagine you're trying to like, here I'm gonna try to relay it to skateboarding.
I think there's a lot of parallels. We'll get into that, but I think there's a lot of parallels with skateboarding and wrestling.
Like you can compare it to anything. If you have a real good grasp on what it is and what something else is, it's so much easier to kind of bring them together and
put it into perspective.
Yeah, and like imagine you're trying to land like a big trick, and eventually you're trying stuff, and you're making those little adjustments on the way. Then eventually you make that one big adjustment, that slight adjustment that just fucking just takes you home and just lands the trick for you, and you just like you feel so fucking good. And that's kind of how like sometimes with the matches is it's like slightly adjustments on what you're doing in the ring and stuff like that, and eventually you're just like, okay, it's time to go home, it's time to end this and fucking get this done. So you finish it, you get the match done. And I feel like it's somewhat like that with like skateboarding, where you're just like finally like this is okay, it's time to go, it's time to fucking land this. And like I see so many people with skateboarding where they're just like, fuck this is taking too long. I need to fucking land this now, and they'll do it in like 2 or 3 tries because they just finally just say fuck. They've
made the connection in their mind. They're like, I'm committing 100%.
Yeah, because you go from the trick like, okay, I think I could do this, to I know exactly how to do this. You know what I mean?
Now it's a matter of just like putting the pencil to paper and making it happen.
And in wrestling, you go out there not knowing how the crowd's gonna accept you or how they're gonna react, to knowing exactly how to fucking pull them in. And that's the hardest part about wrestling, is knowing how to do that, is knowing how to land that fucking trick, which is knowing how to successfully finish that match and everything like that. And it's kind of hard. It's like, it's give or take. It's very loose in like the comparison, but you know what I mean. Like,
how long have you been wrestling?
Shit.
Like legitimately or whatever. Like, all right, there's the stuff when you were like kids and throwing each other around mattresses and shit and like trampolines.
First time I got in the actual ring and started training was 2008.
2008.
And that was in Albuquerque. We went up there, and like before then I was actually trying to train and stuff like that, trying to learn rolls and everything, but I was kind of doing it on my own because we don't have shit out here. Then eventually I linked up with somebody, and I'm gonna date myself with this on MySpace. And yeah, that's how old we are.
Hit us up on MySpace.
Yeah, fucking top 8, all that shit.
Fuck your space.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Yo, but anyways, I put T-Pain in my song on my page. Check it out. Fucking, you remember that shit?
Oh yeah.
Everyone had their theme song on their page, their own little background sparkling. You spent like an hour doing that shit.
I had a homie help me set one up or something, but I never could get back into it. Like I couldn't even use it.
Dude, there's a MySpace of mine out there floating around somewhere. I know there is. I don't know. I may have deleted it. Who knows? But I used to use it to kind of like look for people in like my area of like wrestling and stuff. And I linked up with a cat in Cruces, who I went out and trained with a couple times, and I worked a show for him eventually by 2010, which is when I had my first official match.
Sick.
But in 2008, I linked up with this guy from Albuquerque, and I ended up going out training with him. 2009, I would drive to Albuquerque and sleep on his couch and train with him. And it was so fucking rough on me, man. And I was so, like, I wasn't one of those guys who were there every week, twice a week. I was that guy who was there every 3 weeks.
What does training consist of, kind of? Like what kind of shit are you doing?
Shitting yourself? No.
Sleeping on homeboy's couch.
Which was shit because he had a shitty couch.
It's because you got no place to stay.
Yeah, and the cushion was like busted.
So what I mean is like it's DIY, it's underground. It's like in a way it's like skateboarding. In a way it's like self-marketing. Like you hear a lot of like skateboarders.
Yeah,
they start out by like couch surfing and I had a connection. I went out to California. Well, I was staying on homeboy's couch. We'd go film. We get footy. Yeah. Next thing you know, this leads to that, leads to this.
Well, my original plan for wrestling was I had the Team 3D, Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley had just opened up their school in Orlando.
Oh, sick.
And my buddy lived there. So my plan was I was going to go there, get a job, get a place, then find a way to get enough money to pay these guys to train there. And I was like, I could do this shit within a year. Easy, no problem, you know? I just got to hustle, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And, yeah, I didn't know how expensive Florida was. But my plan was to go out there. I ended up putting my 2 weeks notice in for my job 2 months ahead of time. This was 2008, 2009.
Right.
And fucking my buddy ended up because I was going to stay with him and his folks. His pops ended up getting orders out of there. And he's like, you can still come stay with us. He ended up going to Panama City, which is 7 hours away. He's like, if you want, man, you can still come down here and stay with us and figure out your stuff. I was like, nah, man, because the point of me going out there was to be able to wrestle and be able to be close enough to this place where I could go out there and train and live out there. So all my plans pretty much got shit on. And by the time I went back to my job, I was like, hey, so that 2 weeks notice I put in 2 months ahead of time, I'm gonna need to cancel that. And they're like, oh, it's too late. We already hired somebody. I was like, bitch.
Oh shit.
Yeah. No, my boss was a dick. So I was like, you could have given my job back. I should have took it to HRO or something like that. But whatever. Yeah, it was only my favorite job I ever had. So fucking.
Oh man.
Like I said, I think it was 2008 because I started linking up with people down here in New Mexico that I could work with. And that's what I felt like. It was like my desperate stage where I was just like, I'm gonna reach out to whoever indie guys, whoever could put me in front of an audience. That's who I'm gonna talk to. So I started training with them. Then eventually by 2010, I had my first show. But the training was because I'm trying not to skip over the question. Was
it's all good. We can take it wherever it goes.
So MySpace, talking to each other. He's like, yeah, you can crash on my couch for 3 days. I go there Friday or whatever. I take the weekend off. I go there. I pick him up from his job because he didn't have a car, fucking. But he worked at a gym and he wrestled at what is it, New Mexico University, Lobos.
Not NMSU.
UNM.
UNM.
Yeah, he did wrestling there. And
that's what's up.
He was like their most legit fucking guy there, but I guess they were having drama at the time, which made it extra hard for me to get into the business. But I linked up with him. We go over there, we train. It was pretty much okay, fall, run the ropes, fall, like bumps, like fall into your back. And it was just pretty much basics at the basics. I threw up every day, and I almost shit myself every day. Like there's the point where he's like, "There's a gas station around the corner, man." Just I was like, all right, I was like, "You sure I can't just shit in the yard?" Like, no, don't shit in the yard. Go around the corner. I was like, "Fuck."
It's rough, man. It's rough.
And it was Albuquerque, man. So the elevation is even higher than here, so it's even harder to breathe. Plus, it was like I started in the summer.
So it's like equivalent of running drills, like in MMA style. Like a lot of people think MMA is like all fighting and sparring and shit, but a lot of it's just drills.
Oh, so many
training drills and just cardio and hitting the bag.
It's basic training.
Sprawl, hit the bag, sprawl, fucking turnover, fucking circuit training. All right, this workout to that workout to this workout.
Yeah,
and you want to puke.
And when I started, it was like basic training, man.
You want to puke.
Oh yeah. Then by like the last day, like after like halfway through, it's like, all right, what do you want to learn? And I was like, oh, I don't know how to do a fucking entrance. He's like, all right, let's go. It was like fucking, I don't know what to say. I didn't want to be like more bumps because every single night there, I was ready to leave. I was like, fuck. But I kept telling myself, if I leave this now, then I can't come back. And there's nothing I want to do more than this. And like, I feel like if you don't have that part of you where you're just like, that moment where you're just like, I can't do this shit. This is so fucking hard for me. Then just realizing, nah, fuck that. I gotta get past that weak mentality. Like, because I feel like you get that way with skateboarding too.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah, because you're just like, you're eating so much shit and you're just so beat the fuck up. And you're just like, I don't want to be here. I just want to go home, sleep in my bed, take a warm shower, not sleep on this dank ass couch. Fuck, man, I know. I just need to get out of here. But then you're just like telling yourself, like, I ain't no bitch. I ain't no fucking bitch. I'm going to stick it out. I don't care. And if my body gives up on me, it gives up on me. But at least I know I didn't fucking quit on myself.
I pushed it to that point.
Yeah. And that's what it is. I think that's why I connect so much with like skateboarding and guys busting their ass off and me just being like, you fucking got this, man. You just got to, it's all a mentality thing. Once you get past your mentality, because you're like, that's what'll make or break you. And, I was training cats back then, and I was trying to teach them that, and you can't teach that. You gotta experience
it live.
And it's hard to do when you're in a situation where you're just like, if I break these cats too much, then I'm just training by myself. And I'm just like, and it was kind of greedy on my side with that shit. But I'm just like, at the same time, it's like, I want you to enjoy this. I don't want you to fucking have that fucking moment where like stuff like that. But then I just realized it's such a pivotal point in what it is, and I'm just like, I'm gonna try to find a way to get there. And I've kind of soured some friendships. I know. Like me and Ross were a lot cooler before I started training him, because there's times where he's just like, oh, Sean's a dick. You know?
When you get in the mix, it's like business is business.
Yeah, and I was like, I need you to understand that, and like you could say you understand, but I was like, it's so much more than that, man. Because I'm like, I'm such a fucking pussy when it comes to training people, because I'm just so fucking, I'm so much nicer than anyone was like to me. Like,
yeah,
it got to a point where I wasn't training with those cats in Albuquerque no more, and I was just like, I need to find more places to train, try to get as much experience as possible. So they would like link me up with they're like, hey, there's gonna be a seminar here, which is where they'll pay, like they'll have guys come in, people will pay money, and they'll train them for the afternoon for the wrestling show, and they may put you on the card that night, they may not, but you're paying for that experience. And it's guys who are like big names, or guys who are known for training people, or guys who are known for being like big names in wrestling, like WWE and stuff like that. And the first one they threw me at was Bill DeMott, and Bill DeMott's known as being like the most like no nonsense, I don't give a shit if your leg's broken, I'm gonna make you run laps type of guy, trainer. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, fuck it. I was like, this is another test. Everything feels like a fucking test, where I'm just like, if I don't hate myself after this, then it's not worth it. Because it was him, then it was Val Venus. And Val Venus was a big Attitude Era guy. He was a big Attitude Era mid-card guy. And I was excited to see him. I didn't give a shit about Bill DeMott. I heard he was a dick. He kept calling me Sumo, and I'm like, I don't know if that's racist. Well, I'm Hispanic, but all right, whatever.
It is what it is.
I get it. I'm big.
I ain't offended. Yeah, whatever. Bring it, motherfucker.
Yeah. And some people like back then, people would be like, oh, he called me, like someone would have been like, he called me Sumo, fucking racist. And I was like, I don't care, man. I was like, that's how we are. We tease each other.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking soft. Let's go.
You're in a hard business.
Yeah, and I'm like, these are the guys with the mentality where it was that much harder. Where like now it's a little bit more accepting and more inclusive than it was back then. Back then it was, like I said, if you couldn't handle that shit, then you wasn't in.
It was cut. Again, another parallel with skateboarding. It's it's like going to the park back in the day. It was like, motherfucker, if you don't fit in, like you don't fit in. Like even if you do fit in, we're still gonna fucking give you a hard time.
Yeah. And now you go to the park and it's like everyone's my friend.
Yeah.
Back then it's like, nope.
Not back in the day, dude.
Shoot, even when I started going there, man, like motherfuckers, I remember Lane hated me for some reason. Then like I guess I earned his respect at one point. Then like just like other stuff where it's just like, oh, whatever. Like, and I was like it's still kind of that mentality where you're like, people just kind of like look at you different until you kind of like, oh, this fucker's actually down for the shit.
He's here to stay.
Yeah, and I think it was me finding my spot and like filming, and they're just like, oh, this fucker's putting in the time with us.
And he keeps coming back every day.
Yeah.
He's hanging out. Like we're stuck with him.
Yeah.
Like it or not, like this motherfucker's part of the park.
Yeah. And my thing is like, and I tell him, I was like, dude, I'm a pro wrestler, man. You can't get rid of me by teasing me. Come on. I was like, dude, you know how much bad shit I've been called? Fucking A. So we like train with like I'd come in and train with guys like Bill DeMott and shit like that. And literally halfway through the thing, by the time we were done with his part of the seminar, my legs were jello. Then it was like, all right, now take a 30-minute break, then we're gonna come back and Val Venus is gonna do his part. And I'm just like, fuck my life, man. Like, it was like we were doing squats, push-up, crunches, we were doing drills in there. Then we get the Val Venus, and Val Venus was just cool about it. He was like, I'm just gonna talk to you about the psychology and kind of explain what's going on when you're in the ring, and talk to you about like selling, like
etiquette and like
selling your performance and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, the showmanship of like the whole side of it. Yeah,
like you get punched in the head, do this type shit. Or if you get body slammed, where should your focus be and where should you be? Like you just got thrown on your back, fucking holding your back, but you also want to project it. You got to know how to project that shit to the crowd, to where like you looking like at someone right in the face, like selling it. They're just someone in the crowd, just like, that fucker's hurt, you know? Like my favorite thing about wrestling is when you finish a match, people come up to you like, are you okay? I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine, dude. I'm 100% okay. But I'm glad you fucking were able to.
You saw them.
You suspended that disbelief enough to where motherfuckers are just like, they don't know when the wrestling starts and when the wrestling in real life ends. Stuff like that.
Nice.
And and like we do that shit where it's just like, I don't know. A lot of the mentality where guys like D'Amato stuff's like, I'm gonna see if I can break these fuckers. And if you don't get broken, then you're a fucking wrestler. If you get broken, you're actually getting another business. That was his mentality. And my mentality was his mentality plus I got to prove to this fucker that I belong here. Especially the way I was trained and stuff like that. Because I was trained by people who weren't, it wasn't an official school.
Right.
Stuff like that. I was pretty much getting trained by giving this fucker rides.
Just DIY. Like local gyms and just underground.
Yeah, like you're training with guys who are in the business, but they're not like at that level.
So you've done like shows and like self-promoting, and like it's kind of like you have to market yourself. Like how do you get on a bill or a card or whatever you call it, and like
kissing ass? No, fucking.
And then like how does that all work out? Like
it's fucking when you start, it's so hard, man. It's because you need people to vouch for you and stuff like that, especially if you don't have any footage or anything like that. But by the time you're able to build up that footage and build up the accolades and what you've done and stuff like that,
to like market yourself,
yeah, it becomes so much easier. Like when I came back to wrestling in 2018, I was like I wrestled here. I've been trained by this guy, which I threw out Bill DeMott. I got trained by Bill DeMott, Val Venus, and by that time I tried out for Dragon Gate, which was a Japanese promotion. Well, Dragon Gate USA, which was the U.S. branch, but at the same time, I was still trying out with the Japanese guys, So I just say Dragon Gate because I'm like,
yeah,
because there's a chance I could go overseas with this tryout.
So you're putting together like a resume, so to say, quote resume.
Yeah, you need that resume, or you need someone to vouch for you,
and then people take you more seriously upon having that credential.
Because there's so many people in the DMs who are just like, oh, I'm trained. And there's
and you don't know if they're full of shit, if they're just trolling or whatever.
Dude, even when I started, like my first match, there's such a culture of like people just like backyard learning shit like that, or just like, oh, I learned from watching the DVD shit. And you're just like, they get out there and people get hurt. And you're just like, we don't want to take that risk. We don't want people getting hurt. We need to know you're legit.
Or you to hurt somebody else.
Yeah. Like
kind of thing. But it goes both ways.
Yeah, like we don't want this guy hurting people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And whatever. And my first show, there's some guy, his name was like Jackson King or whatever. I throw his name out here. Fucking piece of shit.
He ain't listening, even if he is. He could take some notes.
I think he lives in Roswell. Phone number 575. No,
he's out there getting blown away in Roswell.
What you call it? My first show, they put me in a battle royal, and there's some shit drama that led up to me ended up in that show. So me and this guy I had drama with were in the same match, but they had to make sure I was out before he was in. But at the same time, like I was able to pull in my buddies who were training me in Albuquerque because he was like, hey, do you know anybody? And I was like, oh, I got the perfect fucking people, man. I had my buddy Kyle Hawk, my buddy Ray Bashura, and the guy who was training me. I'm not going to say his name because he has legal issues. And yeah, but then there's this other guy, Mosh Pit Mike. He's cool. He was a bounty hunter, but he was a juggalo too. So he was like, he did a bunch of the Gathering of the Juggalo wrestling shows and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so I threw their names out there, and they got them brought in, and their thing was, oh, it's your first match. We'll take care of you. Which Mosh Pit Mike took it as, I'm gonna chop this motherfucker a lot. I was like, piece of shit. But he still took care of me. Like he made sure I wasn't hurt or anything like that. He looked after me in the match. But there's a guy there who showed up, the Jackson dude, and he's like, he looked at me, he's like, that fucker's not trained, man. I'm going to get you out before he gets in because I don't want him to hurt you. Or something like that. It wasn't like, he was like, stay away from him. And
not that he would hurt you because like he's like...
inexperienced.
It's inexperience.
But it's ignorance. It's stupid because it's like you're showing up to the show, you think you know the thing, but you don't.
You don't.
Yeah, and then you do something and you end up hurting a motherfucker or ending his career prematurely because you think you know how to do a suplex properly, but you don't. Whatever, you know what I mean? You end up you don't know that you got to pop your hips with the fucking German, so you drop a guy on his fucking neck or some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some stuff like that, or you don't know how to pull your punches correctly, and you break a dude's jaw.
What you're saying, in a way, is that you're putting a lot of trust into whoever your opponent is.
Yeah,
because from the outside, it seems like you're like you versus whoever, but really it's not. You're totally working in
it's a dance,
a cohesive manner.
It's a dance, and you want your dance partner to be as good of a dancer as possible because it makes the dance that much easier. And if they don't know how to dance, toes get stepped on, ankles get broken. You know what I mean?
Oof, that's a good way to put it.
Pretty much what it is. And This guy, he pretty much told me, he just said, just look out for him. We'll make sure you get out before he shows up and stuff like that. And I was like, cool, thank you. They made sure I got them out. I went out and watched the video. My buddy, when he came back, the mosh dude came back and his lip was busted open. He's like, fuck. He's like, piece of shit. Stiffed me. And he was so much bigger than the dude too. And he knew it was gonna be a fight. And me being young and impressionable, I don't know how hard I'm gonna get hit. It's my first match. So I'm not gonna immediately be in fight this fucker mode. You know what I mean? Like, he knew what to expect. So he's like, if this guy stiffs me, I know I'm gonna hit him back that much harder. So in the video, which I'm never gonna post, the guy hits him and he busts him out, and you can see him like get pissed, and you can see him throw 2 forearms, like full fucking just bust the dude's mouth open. And that's what he did. He just went and busted the dude in the mouth and bust him in the nose and shit. Then just fucking just like, yeah.
So shit got real
with them, yeah. And he's just fucking that thing. Then yeah. And wrestling's such a shady business, because later we had a show and he was looking for people and he's booking it. I was like, cool. I was like, who would I be wrestling? And he said, oh, you'll be wrestling so-and-so. And I knew that guy was trained. And I was like, are you paying me? He's like, yeah, man, you're going to get so much. And we also feed you and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck it, I'm down. And it was weird, because I was like, I know this guy's fucking untrained and shit like that. And he's putting on this show. But I know I'm going to be in the ring with someone I could trust. Which ended up being the guy who I was supposed to work with, was the guy who helped me finish my training. So by the time 2013 came around, I was trying out for Japanese companies, and I was like, I felt like I had a real good fucking chance there. And which the guy I was supposed to wrestle didn't even show up, and I ended up wrestling the guy who was like his teacher, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
It never goes to plan, man. No. Hardly ever.
Oh, I got the shit chopped out of me. It was fun though.
That's good. That's how you grow. That's how you grow, you know.
It was a good match, man. It was shit. We probably had the best match out of the whole card. And I only knew, he was like, the only person I knew there was the one I was working with there. And
sick.
Yeah, shit. That's just early on, man. Like,
you've done a lot. You've done quite a bit. You've been wrestling for how many years?
Shit, I've been technically in the business for 12. My debut match was 12 years ago, but the past 2 years I haven't wrestled because of the COVID thing. I took a year off. Then my back thing we were talking about earlier was I found out I had spinal stenosis in my back, which is the compression of the disc, which means the pathways and everything like that are somewhat closed off. So it makes it easier to compress it. So it ended up to a point where my disc was pushing out into my nerves, and kind of ended up tearing my muscle in my lower back, and ended up just going through a bunch of shit where I'm like at the point now where I can't really work out to my full potential, because that nerve and stuff like that, like my legs will go numb.
Ooh.
Like I'll do like 35 minutes on the thing and my feet will either be in like a lot of pain and numb, or they'll be like getting to that point by the 35 minutes, depending on how, like, if my body's already sore or not. So It's making it hard to really get back into wrestling.
Sure.
Because I was like, I don't have no endurance. My endurance is shit now that this kind of happened. Shit, like, when it happened, they kind of just put me through some pain management stuff, which was they gave me 3 separate epidurals in my spine, where they put it right next to the area, which for me is my L3 and L4 region. They put 2 of the epidurals in there on each side, which fucking sucks. It's the worst shit, because it goes straight through your fucking nerves. And when it first happens, it's like getting fucking electrocuted, because I just felt the pain shoot down my left leg. After the next one wasn't too bad. Dude, I tried to bail out on the second one. Second one, I was like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to fucking do this. I hate this shit. And he's like, well, we can stop if you want. I was like, no, just fucking do it. Just hurry up.
You're already here. Fucking do it. Yeah.
I was like, I need to get through this shit because I need to feel better. And then if this shit actually does help me, I want to be able to fucking wrestle again. You know? Like, that's my end goal right now, is to be able to wrestle again. And it got to a point where, like, it healed up the muscles in my back, which I pretty much went through a whole year of, like, not being able to really do much because of my back. And I still have back pain and stuff like that. It's sensitive. It's mostly random sporadic nerve pain now. But it's, like, to a point where I'm like, okay, that's cool and all, but having that much steroid shot into you, and you're like, I was like, part of it is you gain weight over COVID. I gained weight over COVID. That did not help me. Not moving around as much did not fucking help me. I was like, that made it worse. And now that you're putting me on steroids, I was like, I'm eating a lot, and I can't work out to burn all that extra shit off.
Right.
And I was like, that is not fucking helping me, man.
It's not good.
I was like, shit, yeah. And on top of that, they give me meds. They had me on muscle relaxers. They had me on light opioids, and they had me on neural blockers for the nerves. And I think it was like about 2 weeks after my second injection where I just weaned off all that shit off. Because I think around the first one, I quit smoking. I was like, no more cigarettes. I quit smoking cigarettes.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, that's going to help a bit, which it made it so much more fucking stressful. Then with all the pills and stuff, when I got off all the pills, the gabapentins, the tramadols and all that stuff, I was just like stretching, like you're fucking shaking and shit because it's like you needed that shit to depend. But now that I was able to get off it and be like, oh, okay, I feel somewhat better. Like I still got the pain and stuff like that. My endurance is still dog shit. My durability is dog shit. Whatever, but you're just like, but I don't need these pills to fucking make it through the day without just like, you want to lay
collapsing
in bed
and just fucking being a piece of shit laying in bed all day.
Yeah, just laying in bed or just sitting down, or you find a comfortable position and you stay in it. That's pretty much what it got down to. Where he's like, I found a comfortable position, I stayed in it, and now it's like to a point where I'm at the gym every day. I'm trying to do as much as I can, which is probably a 35 to 45-minute workout, depending on how I'm feeling that day.
What kind of workouts are you doing to get through it?
A lot of it's just fucking cardio shit, man.
Elliptical, like the bike.
I do the bike thing where you push down.
The standing bike.
No, I can't do the standing because when I walk even when I walk too much, like the way my back is, it'll compress even more and I just become stiff. So I do the one where I sit down and I just kind of like push forward, but I keep pushing the resistance up every time, and I keep like setting my goals higher and higher and higher. And I was like, where I'm burning so much more in this amount of time than I was 3 months ago.
Nice.
But I'm also had the resistance so much more higher to where it's like I'm still getting that strength training and stuff like that. But then I'm also I'm just like I'm able to do curls again and flies, all that stuff, and
resistance training, like muscle building and shit like that.
Yeah,
like
anything that's like
weights,
a machine where I just kind of sit down, I could do it.
Cable machines,
yeah.
And
yeah, like I stay away from anything where I feel like it's like on my back. Like I stay away from bench presses. I'm not
like free weights type shit.
Yeah, I stay away from free weights altogether, man. Like I'm not gonna do deadlifts anytime soon. But right now it's kind of leading into a surgical thing where I'm probably gonna end up getting surgery, but I don't know. Part of me still thinks it may not just be my back that's bugging me. I think it might have something to do with my hips because I did fucking pop my groin muscle in Vegas and injured it pretty bad, and I'm like, I get a lot of hip pain, and I was like, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Who knows?
But so far with the back thing, like right now, it's looking into whatever gets me back to as close to normal as possible to where I could just fucking move past this shit and just either go back to wrestling or at least be able to live a more normal life. And just, I was like, because no one wants to be in pain every day. No one wants the fucking sciatica pain in their legs. And
that shit is brutal.
Dude, it gets pretty rough,
brutal.
Man. Then it's just like,
I've had a day or two here and there of like sciatica or like work your back too hard or something, dude, and you're just like fucking like almost bedridden back pain. Yeah. I couldn't imagine that being like every day.
Yeah, it's like having RLS every day, man. Like restless leg syndrome. Like when you're laying there, you just like can't stand still. That's pretty much like after the gym all the time. I'm just like, I fucking hate this. But I've had it before. But I feel like I'm probably more closer to normal now than I probably have been in a while. That's and good. I just don't notice it because beforehand, I think I've been in pain for however long and I just haven't noticed because the stenosis thing is a disease you're born with. And they feel like the thing, like most people don't really see issues with it till they're like 50s, 60s. And they're thinking progressions, it's probably wrestling and stuff like that. But I'm just like the more I think about it, I was like, it's probably my big ass trying to jump on a skateboard. Because when you're jumping up and down and stuff like that, you're compressing your shit. When I'm falling on my back, I was like, I've done wrestling matches where I've taken so many bumps. Like I've taken probably like 8, 9, 10 bumps in the match where I fell straight on my back. And I came back out there, man. I was like, dude, I feel fucking great. Let's go. But I've also been in places where I've gone skateboarding and you'll skateboard for like half an hour, and you're like, I need to sit down, man. My body's fucking stiff. And I think that's just because of the fucking
the compression
pushing on each other.
Yeah,
because I know you probably feel that way after you skate. You probably feel stiff when you're tired, right?
I do. I notice it in like certain areas too, like my heel.
Yeah.
Like my back foot, like my heel will be real stiff. Calf muscles and shit, and like certain areas it'll target certain areas depending on if you've been on the board a lot recently or if it's been a while or. But
like you probably feel back pain and stuff like that every now and then.
Back pain too, yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And this is like
like compression, like spinal compression, when especially if you're like doing the same movement over and over. Like there was one time I hadn't skated a lot, and then like you know, like I was trying this trick over and 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 over, and like I spent like I don't know, like fucking shitload of times doing the same movement.
Yeah.
And I was sore as fuck. And that's happened to me multiple times in different eras of my skating, but
because I noticed like with like skating, like I was like I get so much more stiff from like skateboarding and stuff like that. And
I mean, if you do anything, like it's like throwing a kick, like if you're doing karate or taekwondo or I don't know, whatever, MMA type shit, and you're just kicking.
Yeah.
Kicking and kicking and kicking. And you keep doing that all night, and the next day you're going to be like fucked up, dude, from doing that one kick over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
And like mine was like, it was like a kickflip nose manual. Shove it out. It's like I kept trying that trick like 100 times or something, dude, at least. And I was so fucking sore the next day.
Because you think about skateboarding, it's a lot of jumping and landing on your feet, jumping and landing on your feet.
Yeah.
Your spine just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And eventually that disc of mine couldn't handle it and slipped out. And people just like I tell some people this, like, are you sure it's not because of wrestling? I was like, well, I haven't wrestled in a year, so unless I'm like taking bumps in my sleep, I don't fucking know. I was like, in my head, I'm thinking it's wrestling because that's what I've done most of my adult life. But I'm just like, I was like, a lot of these injuries come like after skating, and like you normally don't notice because you skate every day. But I wasn't skating as much when I came back, and I'm like, I remember specifically being at the park with somebody, and I was just like, within like 2 or 3 days, it was just like my back went out, and I was just like, and now that I'm really like looking back on it, I was like, skateboarding's rough, man. Fucking,
it is.
Where like wrestling fucks with my shoulders and my knees and stuff like that, and especially my hips. I feel like skateboarding's done the same for my back, and I'm just like, man, if my big ass didn't jump back on a skateboard back then, I'd probably be good right now. I probably would. I'd probably still be able to wrestle and stuff like that, but I don't know. COVID kind of put me in a position to get hurt. So it was like, you're not doing shit. You're not in the shape you are. Your muscles aren't built like they were a year ago. Do a kickflip. Like, fuck.
Do a kickflip.
Do an ollie. Like, do an ollie. It's just like, oh, fucking A. Stuff like that. And I don't know. I think it just comes down to me just always feeling like I need to be doing something. And like, and skateboarding and was a thing. Even though like I'm not really good at skateboarding and stuff like that, I still did enough to where I'm just like, I'm pretty sure that could have led to it. Shit, doing acid drops, man, just to fucking slam me down on your feet there. It's like, imagine just jumping for like an hour straight.
There's a lot of compression, man, in skateboarding.
Oh yeah.
Just the ground and the gravity, spinal compression, and just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down.
Like it's all different, you know. Like wrestling, I think you get a lot of knee pain because of the fucking bounciness of the ring and stuff like that. And skateboarding, like I said, you're landing on a hard surface on rubber wheels that depend on how hard those wheels are, you know.
There's not much give even on the softer wheels.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So what's on the horizon, man? Any new shit coming up? What?
Right now I just got the Ferda video coming out, and
that's right. All right. So earlier you addressed like throwing out the kids part, the younger dudes. Yeah. And it's like a four sections to this video.
There are gonna be 4 different videos coming out, but it's all one big thing, and it's all Ferda. Like I said, I'm gonna get copyright striked on fucking YouTube for it. So,
what's Ferda? For those who don't know,
for the boys, man.
For the boys.
For the culture, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Letterkenny, watch Letterkenny. That'll explain it. But yeah, like I said, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna put this shit out. So.
Now's the time.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't doing shit else, man. I was like, I'm sitting at home all the time, feeling sorry for myself. Let's fucking do something, you know. And I was like, let's do this.
So what are parts like 2, 3, and 4?
So far, like the first part is the kids. The second part, well, I can't say second part because it's already going to be out of order when I release it. But there's a Jesse part because me and Jesse used to spend like every fucking other day together filming him skating.
Right.
And stuff like that, or just skating, hanging out.
He's a damn good skateboarder, so I imagine like his amount of footage would be like prolific, and like he'd have a lot.
And me and him would be out in El Paso or Cruces like every.
Some people just do that. Like some people, you go film and you're like they just stack a lot of stuff.
Well, and he didn't have any kids back then. Now he has 2 kids. And he don't do shit. Yeah.
It's like Dom or somebody. You could go skating with one day with Dom, and he could have like fucking 6 or 7 or 8 good clips in one day, and you're like, God damn.
Yeah. And those are the good days too, because sometimes you end up going with them some days, and you're just like, man, I ain't get shit. But then there's a part I got for you because me and you filmed a lot of stuff together.
Nice.
Because it's a lot of you hitting me up, being like, hey,
I got some ideas.
I'm gonna kickflip that gap today.
Yeah.
Come film it. I just be like, hey, I want to do this today. Let's go. And I was like, all right, let's fucking go. And even like I have clips from the Zero trip. I said Austin High School with you and Dalen, and everything else that's
all the filler, the montage kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well,
all the in betweens.
No, all the in between. There's like no filler in this shit. Like all the like in between filler shit went into my vlog. So if you want to see that, there's the vlog. There's there's some fun stuff there. Then the last part is just the rest of the homies, the Poop City.
Everybody together.
Yeah, which is your guys, which is your JoJo's, your Lanes, your J-Rods, your fucking just all those cats, man. Avery and
Taylor and fucking
Taylor, Alfino, just doing one trick.
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah, everyone I could fit in there that I could find clips of. There's in there. There's like one of like Luis in there too. If you look at it, you're just like, oh, hey, that's Luis.
Man.
Yeah, I slipped him into one of those. It may have been the kids part just because of the way he's shaped.
Luis is so dope, man.
But
miss that motherfucker.
Yeah, I think there's like a few people that I'm just like, I wish I would have got in there, but I'm just like, I put them in so many like Instagram because they do like one-off tricks. Like Jeff is so fucking.
Oh man,
Jeff is so random with this shit where you're just like, I just put it on Instagram and I'm just like, I was like, you're not doing like crazy big shit like you did. Like all the stories I hear from you guys, like you're doing like shit that I enjoyed that I would try to do, but like the type of style I do where it's just kind of outlandish. It's real Fancy Lad-esque with Jeff.
Jeff is the ultimate, like, yeah, he is very Fancy Lad-esque.
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it.
Heroin, all that stuff.
Yeah, like you cannot put him into a category. It's just Jeff.
Like he's not just, like Jeff is like, you just can't one trick him. Like if I put Jeff in the part, I need at least a minute of his shit.
He can do anything.
Because it's just a minute of like,
but in his own way.
Because it's just a minute of you shaking your head like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Just like fucking Jeff. And like then I hear like the stories from back in the day with the picnic tables and all that stuff.
Dude.
And I'm just like, dude, if I would have got that, I could have put you in one clip. But just putting you in one clip, no one gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're just so fucking, like the way he skates, you're just like, I was like, one trick from you is just like, people just like, what, that was fucking random? That was okay. And I was like, I need at least 20 seconds of you.
Fucking Jeff.
30 seconds.
Dude, he's so badass. Mm-hmm. I go way back with Jeff, man. Damn. I don't even have that motherfucker on the podcast.
I know. That fucker would be interesting. Get him away from whatever pyramid scheme he's living this week.
I haven't seen him in a while. Have you seen him?
I haven't really been out. I've been avoiding everybody.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. Last time I seen him, I know he pops up at the park every now and then, so you might be able to see him there.
How do you feel about the times, man? The current times, like what do you? It's different. It's changed a lot.
Shit, we're getting old, man. Like dead ass. We're just getting older.
Oh, part of it is like, okay, we're growing up, coming of age, but what about the world? You know, like the state of things. Like, not to get political or like whatever, but like,
nah, everyone's such bitches now. It's fucking.
Do you think we're a little too sensitive nowadays?
Oh, way too sensitive, man. It's fucking, and it's not even. It's not even about like just like saying whatever shit, whatever thing. It's just everyone's so fucking pretentious and fucking ego driven and stuff like that. Like everyone cares about the wrong shit. Like everyone cares more about. Everyone's trying to get in the fucking mindset where it's like, oh, fucking business side of things, blah blah blah. Oh, that kickflip's cool, but how are you gonna make money? I'm like, shut the fuck up, man. Just enjoy skateboarding. And I see it with wrestling too. People just like, people just bitch where they're just like, oh, well, they made this many people. They only had so many people in their seats. I was like, why the fuck do you care? Just watch and enjoy it for what it is. I love wrestling for wrestling. I love skateboarding for skateboarding. I don't watch wrestling because of the business side of wrestling. I don't watch skateboarding because of the business side of skateboarding. Y'all care about too much shit. Y'all try to be too inside baseball with every fucking thing. And I'm just like, dog.
To the point where it's exhausting.
Like you just don't enjoy it. Like you take the fun out of it. Like I'm like I just want to watch two sweaty half naked dudes body slamming each other on the fucking canvas. I just want to forget that I'm just like sitting here just chilling watching that. You know, like I just want to kind of fucking
become part of the art.
Like I just want to zone out and just be like cheering. Like when I watch wrestling, okay, they're fake fighting. Well, guess what? I'm fake watching boxing. Like I'm just like, I'm a fan anyways. Like I know these guys, this is predetermined and all this shit and everything like that, but who the fuck cares, man? Movies aren't real either, but guess what? I'm hoping Optimus Prime fucking transforms and beats the dog shit out of fucking Megatron or whatever.
Right?
I was like, why should I care about anything else? Like if I could fucking throw myself into this art and just fucking get lost in it, like what's not to love about it? Like that's the best thing about wrestling or skateboarding or anything you fucking love, man. Like some people love those weird fucking novelas and stuff like that in Mexico where they like the weird slaps and shit and people just like get so involved in this shit, and I'm just like it's escapism, man. We need to get away from all the bullshit going on in the world. You think I want to think about the whole Ukraine Russia thing all the time? No, my mind needs a break. If it's too much worrying about my future and life and shit like that, it's like, what the fuck, man? Like my mind's already deteriorating as I age. Like you want me to fucking push that faster by just worrying about every fucking thing going on? You think I want to worry about how much a billionaire is spending on fucking Twitter? I don't give a damn. I was like, dog, shit happens. Let shit happen. Quit worrying about every little thing, especially if you can't fucking handle, like, if you can't change it. Like, especially with wrestling and, like, shit like that. Like, I love wrestling so much, man. Well, when people were just like, they're not treating them right, they didn't put a belt on them, I was like, who the fuck cares? I care about the fucking story, man. I was like, I love wrestlers that are so good that you don't need to put a fucking shiny belt on them, because guess what, at the end of the day, that belt don't mean shit. And you say
they were there doing the thing, and that's what it's about.
Like, you're getting paid, making a living, and doing what you love. When you start caring about where the fuck you are at in the business, of course you want to be making as much money as possible and stuff like that, but that's the business side of all that. But other than that, I'm just like, that's his fucking problem. Why the fuck do you care? I was like, I'm just happy to see you guys on TV all the time. And when you get wins, it makes me want to watch you more. And that's the whole psychology behind some of the wrestling stuff. And like I said, people were worried about, oh, he was getting paid more. Who fucking cares, dude? I was like, let that guy do it. I can't believe he left, man. He just dick slapped AEW by leaving him or whatever. And I was like talking about Cody Rhodes and shit. And I was like, dude did what's best for him. Why the fuck do you care? I was like, you still gonna watch him wrestle. Oh, he's not wrestling the guys you want. He's not having the matches you want. Guess what? He's having the matches he wanted.
It was like when Andrew Reynolds, he was on the America footwear for like years and years, like 20 years. Yeah. And then like he started skating Vans, and then like he quit America.
And I was like, what the fuck, dude?
And like I was on Instagram, and I looked, and I was like, there was a bunch of comments like Andrew Reynolds, like when he finally like came out and was like, yeah, I'm leaving America, and here's the thing, like he was like, it was great, 20 years, it was a great opportunity, but I just felt like I needed to do something else, and I just been rocking Vans or whatever. And there was so many comments, and normally I just keep scrolling, and
it's like, you fucking sell out, you fucking lose.
But I actually commented back. I was like, it just goes to show how influential somebody is. Yeah. Like Andrew Reynolds, when just the shoes that he fucking skates is like such a big deal. All these sparks, all these comments. Yeah. And I was like, it just goes to show what an influential skateboarder he is, at Andrew Reynolds. Like, and he actually commented back. He was like, at Orange Curb, like, thanks. Yeah. And I was like, that's what's up. Like, Reynolds just saw what I said and was like, Reynolds consciously on Instagram was like, at Orange Curb, like, thanks for standing up for me. Like, not standing up for him, but like acknowledging the fact that
just
that's how powerful of a career he's had. Is like all these kids are throwing a fit about what shoes he rides.
Just for having a rational fucking understanding of what the fuck's going on.
And I'm like, dude, I respect Reynolds so much. I don't care what he does.
Yeah, like, it's not like he changed shoes and you're like, fuck, he's wearing Vans? Fuck, I can't skate Vans? What the fuck? No, you can still skate America or whatever the fuck you want, dude.
And I knew from the jump, too. I was like, he's either going to go to, like, Adidas or Vans.
Because at the end of the day,
and I was like, but it's not going to be Adidas because it's Reynolds. Because he's like, it's Reynolds. I was like, he's going to be on Vans.
Like, it literally affects...
And then it just happened.
It literally affects nobody except for him and Vans. Because I'm like... There's going to be new kids, new fans. You see them. Guys here says diehard fans, but they don't give a fuck what the shoe is. They just know they love Andrew Reynolds, and whatever he's skating, they're going to try it out because they think that's going to make them skate like Andrew Reynolds.
Yep.
And I'm just like, why do you care what the fuck he's doing? Like just like all that shit, man. Like, people care too much about the wrong shit. I'm just like, just love skateboarding, you know?
Care about the wrong shit.
You care about the wrong shit. Like,
yep.
Like, I love skateboarding for skateboarding.
Focus on the intention, not the details.
I don't love skateboarding because Andrew Reynolds skates Vans or skates America. I like watching Andrew Reynolds skate.
Because of his skateboarding.
Not even because. I just love watching Andrew Reynolds skate.
That's it. It doesn't take anything else.
It's that simple, but everyone overcomplicates it. Everybody has to have their fucking 2 cents and their opinions and, well, fucking the laces on Vans are made from sheep pelts. You're like, no, who fucking are you talking about? Well, I believe in... I'm like, whatever, dude. Like, find your excuse. Everyone finds a million excuses to hate something, man. Find one fucking excuse to love someone and just go with that. That's it. You love skateboarding? Why do you love skateboarding? Because it's skateboarding. Yeah, but why? Who the fuck cares? I just love it for some reason.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, it makes me happy. Like, if people say, why do you love wrestling? I was like, I just love wrestling, man. I don't know why.
Drawn to it. I can't not.
Yeah.
It's a part of you.
Yeah, man. It's like fucking A. And like some people would tease me about it, like, oh, you like rolling around the ring with half naked dudes? I was like, yeah, so haven't got hard yet. I'm good. Let's go. I was like, shit, let's fucking go. I had a buddy say that to me. He's like, what if I go to a wrestling show and I get too excited? I was like, dude, I've been in so many matches and I still haven't been there. You'll be fine. You'll be good. Like, I don't know what the fuck that thought process is coming from, but cool. Like, went to a wrestling match and I went home gay. Like, so what? Who cares? Like,
have you seen Joe Rogan's Strange Times?
No, I may have, but long ago.
It's good. It's really good. But he's talking shit about wrestling, but not in like a.
I respect.
It's funny. It's funny.
He's like, making jokes.
Yeah. He's just talking shit. Yeah, it's funny.
That's what Rogan does. That's why people get mad when he calls it like fake fighting and stuff like that. And people get so up in arms. Fucking, there's so much more than that. I was like, who cares? It's like, it's wrestling. He don't like it. He don't want to see what it is. His loss. Fuck it.
It's real athleticism at the end of the day.
You got to be tough, man. You got to be able to take a hit. You got to be able to fucking handle the drama. You got to be able to fucking all that stuff, man.
You got to be an athlete, bro. You got to be able to train and be able to endurance and all that.
Well, I've seen some non-athletes out there. I've been in the ring with some non-athletes, and you could tell the difference. But I've bbeen in the ring with guys who are like twice my size. You can fucking go. They may not be like the most like have like the best. What's it? They don't have like the best like gas tank or whatever. But that motherfucker throw my big ass across the ring like it's nothing. I was like, we all got our thing. I was like, shoot, I'm not the type of guy where. If I ever got signed to a big company and stuff like that, which was my original goal before COVID, was to either go to Mexico or Japan, and I was on my way to either one, I was like, I don't want to be the guy where they're like, we're going to put you in the main event for a 60-minute match. I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to be the guy who opens the show for 15 minutes, then goes home and just sits in the back and just chills and watches the rest of the show, eats catering, whatever. I was like, I just want to be there to wrestle. I don't want to have hour-long matches. I don't want to have 45. That shit's tiring. I want to have 10-minute matches. Give me a 5-minute fucking match. I was like, I get paid to do what I love. And I was like, oh, you only want 5 minutes? I'm like, dude, I'm doing it 5 days a week. Fuck you. I was like, I don't care. That's 25 minutes a week. I'm doing what I love, and I just forget about everything. I was like, I don't need to be in there for a fucking hour just to be having fun. But some people enjoy that shit. Some people love that shit. And I'm like, good for you. I was like, that's not me. I just love being there. If I could work every weekend and just do like 7-minute matches, 8-minute matches, I'm cool with that. That was what I was doing in Vegas. Anything longer than that, I was just like, how long? You're like, yeah, man, we put you out there for like 20 minutes. All right, are you sure? I was like, is there any leniency there? It's like, I don't know. Just do 13 to 18 minutes. I was like, okay, that's more my language. Let's go. I was
Man.
like, I don't fucking care. I was like, I don't want to be out there forever.
That's a lot longer than people would think, too.
Dude, it's so long out there.
That's a long fucking time.
Oh, dude. Fucking. I think my first like actual match that was over 10 minutes felt like I was in there for an hour. I was just like, dude, get me out.
Time slows down when you're on the spot, bro, and you're out there performing.
Oh, dude. And
regardless of the field.
And if you're early on in wrestling, you don't know how to breathe. You don't know how to.
Let alone something that's physically demanding and hardcore.
Dude, there's so much adrenaline, man. Adrenaline will fucking wear your ass out. Like you'll be.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah.
Like
it's powerful and it makes you feel good, but it also really tears you down.
Like Lovey Ross and stuff like that. You talk about having wrestled in front of so many like 5 or 6 people with Teddy that one time, like in because he had a show in his yard. He did a showcase show with him and Ross wrestle, and he's like, yeah, I definitely felt a lot more tired. I was like, nah, imagine being in front of a shitload of fucking strangers, like in an environment you're not used to. I was like, because my first match, I went out there.
To it.
I went out there knowing I could wrestle a 10-minute match. 1 minute in, I'm sucking wind. I'm just fucking. Because I'm just so much into the fucking process. Where do I look? What do I do? What do I do? Okay, whatever. And you forget to breathe. And you don't know that. But like the more I did it, I was like, shit. By the time I was 10 years in, I go out there, but like, you're gonna have a 13-minute match. Okay, cool. It's gonna be a little bit slower and stuff like that and everything. But the whole time, like what I learned from wrestling and guys like Vampiro and shit. Because when I was in Vegas, that's who I trained under for part of the time was Vampiro. Was don't leave time to breathe. Don't stop. Like, don't slow it down. No rest holds, nothing, just go. I was like, because we want the show to be as action-packed as possible. We don't want to slow down the momentum at all. We want the momentum to keep going. So if someone puts you in a headlock, you keep working. You work the entire thing. And he kind of taught me that, where that should have been something I learned like fucking day one, where it's like you're always working. Someone has you in a headlock and you're on the ground. You're not just, let me out of here. You're trying to find a way. You're moving, stuff like that and everything like that. I was like, you don't watch MMA and a guy has a guy in the leg lock and he just, fuck. No, that fucker is moving. He's squirming. Fucking squirm, dude. Do something. You want him to.
He's getting out of that bitch.
Yeah, I was like, your thing
His life depends on it.
Oh, yeah. Someone has you in the fucking wrist lock, man. They're trying to break your wrist, man. Act like.
You're going to tap out or that shit's getting broke off, so you got to get out of there.
Like, I've never had anyone put me in, like, a legit arm bar and me just be like, okay, I could just chill here for a second and catch my breath. No, your ass got to move. But the art about wrestling is you learn how to keep your wind while doing that stuff. So you're playing it off. You're selling it. My face is screaming, oh, I'm dying right here. But in reality, you're just like kind of this. Because they're not really trying to break your arm. They have you in a position where it's tight, but it's not bending the opposite direction. So you're just kind of like, you're moving with them. You're kind of giving them the sell and stuff like that. So you're able to just kind of keep your arm relaxed while that stuff. But at the same time, you're selling it with your face like you're fucking, But you gotta learn how to fucking do that. Because if you don't know how to do that, your ass is going to legit be like doing all the motions to try to break it up. And you're just like, oh, I'm fucking tired now because I tried to get out of this fake arm lock as real as possible and I forgot to fucking breathe. I forgot the fact that it's a show that I'm not really in the arm bar.
Oh, yeah.
And you're just like...
You lose track of what's real and what's not.
Like, you get so into it, you forget to breathe. And I'm just like... I was like, you got to be conscious of what you're doing that whole time. Because if you're not, you're going to blow yourself up. You're going to... I went too hard. I hit the ropes and didn't exhale. Like, you've lifted weights before where you forget to exhale. So you're just like I'm trying to, something like that.
It's important to center yourself, bro, and be conscious of all that stuff.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's the hardest part because when you first start, you're so fucking everything's happening all at once, and there's so much going on.
Information overload. Yeah, you just get lost track.
You forget when to breathe. You know what I mean? Like you end up like that by the end instead of just like calm in through the nose, out through the mouth. You know what I mean? Like,
well, shit, man, that's gnarly. But what's on the horizon, man? Anything coming up?
Just the Ferda thing, man.
Ferda, what is that again?
For the boys.
For the boys.
For the boys. That'll. I'll be dropping out shit for the next few weeks. So, like
in installments, like in like 4 sections.
Yeah, I have each.
Give or take, something like that.
Oh yeah, there'll be individual YouTube videos.
Sick. So we'll put a link to your channel. Like if anyone's trying to get onto your stuff, we'll put links. But where can people find your stuff at?
You can find it at youtube.com/connect. That's CANEKT. You can find me on Instagram at Xavier Foxy, XAVIERFOXY, as well as Twitter, Xavier DZ. They're all different. I'd give you not my Facebook. I have a Discord out there, but you can find that through my YouTube and all that stuff and everything like that. So
sick. We'll put links in the description, and y'all motherfuckers go check it out.
Yeah, and by the time this is out, that first part for Ferda will be out there. And
sick. Maybe we can get the homies over here and skate and have a little warehouse fucking sesh.
We'll see, man. Everyone's too old now, man. It's too fucking old.
If we give everybody enough notice, it'll go down.
Yeah, you give them at least 4 days. It'll be good.
4 days for Ferda.
Yeah, just hit them with what the fuck are you doing,
bitch?
Yeah, what are you doing, fucker?
Y'all come out. Y'all come out. Have some fucking sketty. I want to do one of them sketty nights, man, where we just cook some food.
Just do a potluck.
Yeah,
we're at that age. We're in our 30s now. We're gonna do a potluck skate party.
I want to, man. Sketty night for sure.
Someone shows up and they don't bring like at least macaroni salad or something. You're just like, get the fuck out.
Motherfucker, you ain't brought no dressing?
What do you think this shit is, huh?
You brought no salad?
You ain't got no Lay's? What's up? You ain't got no chips?
What else is good? Any words of wisdom? Any closing thoughts? Any
shit
snippets of advice? Some shit trials and tribulations that you've gone through? You give someone a little something to keep them going?
Best thing I can say, anyone trying to do anything, you're going to eat a big sandwich doing it, man. You just got to be ready for that. You just got to be ready for the bullshit. Fucking don't give up on this shit. Fucking everything's going to be busting your ass. Even the most simple shit in life. Just put in the work and fucking don't bitch about it. Don't complain. And if you do complain to people who aren't a part of that life. Like, as far as wrestling, I'll bitch to you guys about that all day. As far as filming, I'll bitch to anyone. Anyone that's probably not like Jared. No, I'll bitch to Jared. Fucking lying. But yeah, just do the shit, man. If you're going to do anything, put everything into it. And make sure that's what you want to do. You don't want to be like in your 30s trying to figure out what you want to do with life. You want to kind of have that shit figured out by the time you're 25. That's not saying...
Easier said than done, yeah, but yeah.
Figure out what you want to do in life by the time you're 25 is what I'm saying. But, like, figure out what you're going to do. But try shit beforehand. Like, that's so much time. Fucking A. Like...
I think that's a good thing is just keep trying. And once you find that thing, go for the long term, right? Like, like motherfuckers be like, I want to start a YouTube channel. And they put out 1 or 2 videos and like, oh, it didn't work out. And you're like, motherfucker, you gotta like put a lot of videos out before it works out.
And sometimes shit don't work out for everybody. You
know?
It
might not work out.
Yeah. Always have a fallback plan, but always remember you have a plan B. But always remember that's your plan B. So plan A should always be things. That's why I hate everybody's like, oh, go to college is a plan B. I was like, well, college is going to take up time for my plan A, so it's not really a plan B then. That becomes my plan A. So you know what I mean? It's
stick to the grind, stay true to yourself.
Yeah, put in the grind, do what you love. You'll be more fulfilled with life. I'm gonna be like broke at 50 with the fucking library of like wrestling matches and be like, I did that shit and stuff like that. Other people can't stay like that, and I'm cool with it. It's whatever. Just be ready for whatever sacrifices you got to make and stuff like that. As far as wrestling, missing birthday parties, stuff like that, missing the social life and all this shit, man. Getting drunk with your friends and shit face all the time is cool for like a year, but once you're past that, you don't want to be like,
it's time to move on and grow and do something meaningful.
You don't want to be the 30-year-old guy getting fucked up every weekend with your buddies without no real fucking path in life. You want to figure that shit out. I mean, cool, get fucked up with your homies, but be moderate. Don't
keep it on point though. Do something.
Yeah, work towards something. Find out what you want to do.
I think. Yeah, to sum it all up, it's like, man, there's not that much time that we're here.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, like your life is a blip on the geologic timeline.
But
like, you know, on the cosmos, you're just a fucking... that's it. That's all you get. So make something of it, right?
Yeah, and I get it. There's people out there who all they want to do is get fucked up with their friends every weekend and stuff like that. So like, that's cool, man. But just find a way to support that dream, I guess.
Right.
As long as you got a support system and you're able to pay for your shit, you good. But if you really want to do some shit in life, as far as shit, wrestling, skateboarding, and stuff like that, you can't do the bare minimum and expect to be successful in that shit. You gotta either give it your all or just do something else. And that's 100% how I feel about wrestling. If you're not gonna put everything in it, and at this point, and just some guys who are like, I just want to be a weekend warrior, and I was like, cool. I was like, if that's all you want to do, cool. But if you want to be successful in this business and be like a fucking headliner and make a living off it, you got to give it everything. You got to fucking bust your ass. I did it. I wrestled like 2 to 3 times a week. Still wasn't making a living for it. And I'm just like, fuck, I still had a full-time job in Vegas and all that shit. But it's whatever.
For sure, man.
Like I said, figure your shit out. Get your shit done. No whining. Don't be a bitch. Just do it.
Good enough for me, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for coming out, brother.
Cool.
Good shit, man. Oof. I'm looking forward to these videos. And maybe we can get the homies out here and do a session and like have a little showing or something. Or
yeah, man. It's all up to you, man.
At the very least, young motherfuckers can look for the links in the description and hit up Sean at the various platforms. We'll put the links. And
oh, yeah. I'll be posting the links by tomorrow. So it'll be cool.
Fuck, yeah.
I think it premieres in, hour and 20 minutes.
You already know.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, man. Thanks for coming by, dude. Appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, man. Wow.
We'll have to do episode 2 or round 2 one of these days soon.
Oh, dude. There's so much more to fucking talk about. But, yeah.
We could go all night.
All right.
We'll go again soon. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all be good.